to help you for conduct class, and Mr. Sudipong Ratana Hiran to help you, and I make you as a co-host now, co-host, and Pirapat, my assistant, is I make host already. Okay, Professor, for this class, I need to attend another activity during this class. I can join, I think, for 5 minutes, and then you please conduct class 2 hours for morning section and
Sure.
1 hour for break for lunch time, and then come back on 1 p.m. according to Thailand time.
Sure.
And my assistant will help you. And if possible, Professor, for continue for your 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 uh, your your co my research or my project, I would like to invite you to join further seminar or visiting professor or on-site uh, visiting professor in Thailand again in next year. So
Sure.
thank you for your help. And then I think student now around three and my assistant one. So good morning everyone. I'm Dr. Isara Chanakel Sabun. I'm coordinated lecturer from Prince of Songkhan University. Today I would like to introduce uh, Professor Nina Suhaity Azmi from University Malaysia Pahang, Malaysia, to give a special class for virtual visiting professor project of Prince of Songkhan University entitled Sustainable Organic Waste Utilization for Value-Added Product Development, Probiotic and Bioproducts. So I would like to invite all of you to concentrate your class because Professor she expert in this field. And afternoon section, I think Professor have time to help you for publication a little bit for publication to show you in more detail. Thank you, Professor, again. Please, you can start morning section now. Thank you.
Okay, good morning everyone. Good morning everyone in Thailand and also in Malaysia. So first of all, thank you very much to Dr. Isara from Prince Songkla University. So this is my second time involved in virtual visiting professor project. I feel so honored to be involved in this event, in this session. So may I know, do you have any difficulty to hear my voice? Anyone can respond to me? Could you hear my voice?
Yes, Professor, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So thank you so much to Prince Songkla University for inviting me to this session. Again for the second time. Thank you very much to PSU members, staff, and also students. Together with me today, also my postgraduate students and also my undergraduate students from Universiti Malaysia Pahang. Okay, so the title for today's topic is Sustainable Organic Waste Utilization for Value-Added Product Development, Probiotic and Bioproducts for session 1, and we will continue for session 2 later here at noon. Okay. All right, a brief introduction about myself. So my name is Associate Professor Dr. Nina Suhaity Azmi from Universiti Malaysia Pahang, or specific from Faculty of Industrial Sciences and Technology. So I received my PhD in Biochemistry from University of Liverpool, United Kingdom. During my PhD study, I worked with reactive surface of oligosaccharides to be used for biosensor application. And then during my master degree, I received my master degree in biotechnology from Universiti Malaysia. During my master study, I worked with microbial enzyme from contaminate or polluted soil from the various places in Malaysia. The soil has been polluted with acrylamide, yeah, a pesticide, yeah, a banned chemical, yeah. So we collect the samples, soil samples, and we purify enzyme, yeah, that can degrade, that bacteria can degrade enzyme, acrylamide that produce amidase and enzyme to be used for various application, especially in industrial application. And then I received my degree in biochemistry from Universiti Malaysia. And my research interest is on glycosaminoglycans, a sugar, polysaccharides, yeah, linear polysaccharides that can be found from mast cells, yeah, from tissues that you can find from animals, yeah. And then microbial enzyme, waste management, biosensor, prebiotic and probiotic. So also involved in commercialization since we got a grant from Super Raju from Malaysia government. So I'm a founder and also director at GlycoBio International Sdn Bhd, a biotech company based in Kuantan, Pahang. Okay, all right. So I would like to share with you today about waste. Yeah, today world challenge. Yeah, so waste collection is a critical step in managing waste. You can see from the chart. Yeah, different amount, yeah, abundance of waste that have been generated by different countries. Yeah, it depends on the depends on the income levels. If you look at the upper middle and high income countries, they are providing nearly universal waste collection. And low income nations collect around 48% of garbage in cities, but this figure drops dramatically to 26% outside of cities. If you look at sub-Saharan Africa, collects around 44% of rubbish, while Europe, Central Asia, and North America gather at least 90% of waste. So the waste collection rates by income level or percent. So the mix of waste varies according to socio-economic level, indicating different consumption habits. Yeah. So high income countries create less food and green waste. So totally 32% of total fresh and more dry garbage that might be recycled is about 51%. So total percent is 96%, yeah, for high income. So the 51%, the remaining from the 96, yeah, after deduction of the 32% for the food and green waste, including plastic, paper, cardboard, metal, and glass. When we look at the middle and low income nations contribute 53% and 57% of food and green waste respectively, with organic waste increasing as economic development levels decrease. So materials which may be recycled account just for 20% of the waste stream in low-income nations. Okay. Here's a pie chart for the global waste composition or percent. Yeah. So there are distributions for different distribution for food and green waste. Yeah, it is about 44%. So you look at the rubber and leather. Rubber and leather is about 2%. You look at 17% there, it is about paper and cardboard. So those are different distribution of different types of waste that are produced by global. So when it comes to solid waste management, technology is not a panacea and it's generally only one issue to consider. So nations that move away from open dumping and other primitive waste management systems are more likely to succeed if they use locally relevant alternatives. So here, most garbage is presently deposited or disposed of in some type of landfill across the world. So around 37% of waste is disposed of in some kind of landfill, with 8% disposed of in sanitary landfill loaded with landfill gas collecting systems. Can you see my slide number 5 right now? Yeah. Okay, I
Yes,
continue.
I can see.
Okay, thank you. Haven't chat. All right, so global treatment and disposal of waste, yeah, by percent. Based on the volume of trash created, its composition and how it is managed, it is estimated that solid waste treatment and disposal costs 1.6 billion tons of carbon dioxide, equivalent greenhouse gas emission in 2016, accounting for 5% of world emissions. Okay, so why? Why? This is mostly due to waste disposal in open dumps and landfills without landfill gas collecting system. Yeah. So here, food waste is responsible for approximately half of all emissions. Look at the food waste percent previously. So it's quite big numbers here, big percent. So food waste is responsible for approximately half of all emissions. So if no changes are made in the industry, solid waste related emissions are expected to rise to 2.38 billion tons of carbon dioxide equivalent per year by 2050. Okay. So we can look here, municipal solid waste management, Southeast Asia. So there are comparison of MSW composition between 5 countries, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, and Malaysia. Okay, so we can see different types of municipal solid waste. Yeah, organic, yeah, paper, plastic, metal, glass, yeah, rubber. So the most distribution, the most highest percentage is organic waste. Yeah, organic waste. So more than 60% or more, average more than 40%. Yeah, in for both for all countries. Yeah, for Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, and Malaysia. And we look at the paper almost almost the same for all countries. And then for plastics, slightly more than 10%, yeah, distribution or percentage of solid waste to the for 5 countries. So what is sustainable waste utilization? So it is the process of using organic waste materials in a sustainable and environmentally friendly way to create valuable products or energy sources. So the criteria for sustainable waste utilization can vary depending on different factors or on the context and the specific type of waste being considered. So we look at the environmental impact. Yeah, one factor is the criteria is environmental impact. So sustainable waste utilization should minimize negative impacts on the environment. Okay, this is very important. So this may include reducing greenhouse gas emissions, preventing pollution of air, water, and soil, and protecting biodiversity. Okay. The second criteria for sustainable waste utilization is a resource conservation. It is a sustainable waste utilization should aim to conserve natural resources by promoting reuse, recycling, and recovery of valuable materials from waste streams. So this can reduce the demand for virgin resources and promote circular economy principles. The next one is energy efficiency. Okay, criteria. So sustainable waste utilization should promote energy efficient processes and technologies such as using waste as a source of renewable energy through processes. Yeah. So there are many processes involved, to conduct this kind of procedure. So anaerobic digestion or waste to energy technologies. Another criteria is economic viability. Yeah, sustainable waste utilization should be economically viable and financially sustainable over the long term. This may include factors such as cost effectiveness, economic benefits from recovered resources, and the creation of jobs and economic opportunities. Social and health considerations. So sustainable waste utilization should take into account social and health considerations. How? such as we minimize impacts on local communities. We need to ensure worker safety for workers, and we also need to promote social equity in waste management practice. Okay. Next criteria, legal and regulatory compliance. Sustainable waste utilization should comply with applicable laws and regulations related to waste management. It depends on different countries, different regulations, different policies. So, how it related to waste management, including waste disposal, handling, and transportation regulations, as well as relevant environmental, health, and safety regulations. How about public and stakeholder engagement? This is also one criteria that we need to focus. So sustainable waste utilization should involve meaningful engagement with the public and relevant stakeholders, including local communities, how we communicate with them, how we educate them, how we make sure that they understand about the current scenario. So waste generators, waste management operators, and other interested parties to ensure transparency, inclusiveness, and accountability in decision-making processes. Without participation with communities or other parties, so it's really hard for us to deliver this policy or message or any activities. Okay. So another criteria that we should focus is life cycle assessment. Okay. So sustainable waste utilization should consider the entire life cycle of waste from generation to final disposal or utilization. It's not something like hanging in the middle of the process, and strive to minimize environmental impacts at each stage of the life cycle. Okay, so next criteria, monitoring and reporting. Sustainable waste utilization should include monitoring and reporting mechanisms to track progress, evaluate performance, and ensure continuous improvement in waste management practice. And next one is innovation and research. Sustainable waste utilization should encourage research, innovation, and development of new technologies, approaches, and best practice to improve waste utilization methods and minimize environmental impacts. Okay, so by having those criteria, will boost we motivate people to carry on this kind of projects. Okay, so if you are familiar with this one, I believe that everyone is familiar with the Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 goals to transform our world have been adopted by member countries in 2015 as part of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. So we have 70 SDGs which they are all aimed to address various social, economic, and environmental challenges to face the world, including those related to poverty, hunger, health, education, gender equality, clean water, sanitation, sustainable cities, climate action, and responsible consumption and production. Okay, so you can find this from the official website. But for today, I think that sustainable waste utilization is closely related to several SDGs. For example, for SDG 12, responsible consumption and production. So sustainable waste utilization aligns with SDG 12, which focuses on ensuring sustainable consumption and production patterns. By promoting waste reduction, resource conservation, recycling, recovery of valuable materials from waste streams, from different types of waste that produce, day by day, So sustainable waste utilization contributes to more responsible consumption and production practices. For SDG 7, affordable and clean energy. So some waste utilization practice such as waste to energy WTE technologies can contribute to clean energy production by utilizing waste as a renewable energy source, thus aligning with SDG 7, which aims to ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. We look at the SDG 13, which is climate action. Previously, I've mentioned about climate change. So sustainable waste utilization can help reduce greenhouse gas emissions by diverting waste from landfills and incineration, which are significant sources of methane and carbon dioxide emissions. So by mitigating climate change impacts, sustainable waste utilization supports SDG 13, which focuses on taking urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. Okay, so here we focus on the 3 SDGs that I think relate more for today's topic. Okay. Oh, we have another SDG also. So SDG 6, clean water and sanitation. So proper waste management, including waste utilization, can help to prevent contamination of water sources and to protect water quality. And we need to contribute to SDG 6, which aims to ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Okay. For SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities. Sustainable waste utilization is essential for promoting sustainable cities and communities by reducing waste generation, minimizing environmental impacts, and creating circular economy practices that contribute to resource conservation, pollution prevention, and overall sustainability. So SDG 8, decent work and economic growth. Sustainable waste utilization can create employment opportunities. Yeah, we have research, we have technologies, and we also need manpower. So we can create employment opportunities. We can support local economies. We can contribute to economic growth, thus aligning with SDG 8, which focuses on promoting sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. Look at this topic, current waste management practice. How our practice for to be specific for waste management. So we have waste management hierarchy here, from source reduction and reuse, recycling and composting, energy recovery, and also treatment and disposal. Okay. So the non-hazardous materials and waste management hierarchy recognize that no single waste management approach is suitable for managing all materials and waste streams in all circumstances. Yeah. So not one procedure can solve all issues. Okay. So the hierarchy ranks the various management strategies from most to least environmentally preferred. Yeah. From most preferred, source reduction and reuse, to least preferred, treatment and disposal. So the emphasis is on reducing, reusing, recycling, and composting as key to sustainable materials management. So these strategies help reduce greenhouse gas emissions that contribute to climate change. So this waste management hierarchy by US Environmental Protection Agency. You can go to their websites and you can find this hierarchy for waste management. Can we look at this source reduction and reuse? What it is all about? Okay, so source reduction is the most environmentally preferred strategy to reduce waste. Okay, most preferred. Why? Because it involves reducing waste at the source by reuse, donate, buying in bulk, reducing packaging, redesigning products, and reducing toxicity. Okay, and source reduction is also important in manufacturing and can be achieved through lightweighting of packaging, reuse, and manufacturing. And purchasing products that incorporate source reduction features supports this strategy. So this source reduction can, first, the benefit of this source reduction can reduce greenhouse gas emissions that contribute to climate change, and we can save natural resources, we can conserve energy, we can reduce pollution, we can reduce the toxicity of our waste, and we can save money for consumers and business alike. Okay, the advantages for the source reduction and reuse, one of the techniques. We go for recycling and composting. Recycle is a series of activities that includes collecting used, reused, or unused items that would otherwise be considered waste. We need to sort it out, and we need to process the recyclable products into raw materials. We need to remanufacturing the recycled raw materials into new products. So consumers provide the last link in recycling by purchasing products made from recycled content. So from the product So we reuse, recycle, and we reuse again. We repurchase it again to use it. So recycling also can include composting of food scraps, yard trimmings, and other organic materials. Let's look at the benefits of recycling. Yeah, one of them is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions that contribute to climate change, to prevent releases of air and water pollutants, to save energy, to supply valuable raw materials to industry. Yeah, we create jobs. Yeah, manpower. We need manpower, and we also at the same time creating jobs. We stimulate this development of greener technologies, conserving resources for all children's future, and reducing the need for new landfills and combustors. Okay. If okay, we move to next hierarchy, which is energy recovery. So, energy recovery from waste is the conversion of non-recyclable waste into usable heat, electricity, or fuel. Processes include combustion, gasification, polarization, anaerobic digestion, and landfill gas recovery. So, waste to energy is another term used for this process. Converting non-recyclable waste into energy reduces carbon emissions by offsetting the need for fossil fuels and reducing methane generation from landfills. So the statistics shows that about 10% of the original waste volume remains as ash after energy recovery, which is typically sent to landfills. But the rest they use for energy conversion. For treatment and disposal, prior to disposal, treatment can help reduce the volume and toxicity of waste. So treatments can be physical or chemical or biological. Or if physical, by shredding, or if by chemical, by incineration, for example, and by biological via anaerobic digester. So this is how the treatments can be done. So landfills are the most common form of waste disposal and are an important component of an integrated waste management system. So the US landfill regulations eliminated the open dumps. Yeah, they eliminate open dumps. So disposal facilities that do not meet federal and state criteria of the past. They are very strict on these matters. Okay. So today's landfills must meet stringent design, operation, and closure requirements to make sure that we meet the safety requirements, and at the same time we want to prevent any contamination or polluted at the landfill site. So methane gas, a byproduct of decomposing waste, can be collected and used as fuel to generate electricity. After landfill is capped, the land may be used for recreation sites such as parks, golf course, and ski slopes. Okay, so let's move to another subtitle or another topic, which is organic waste and probiotic. What is probiotics? I believe that you are familiar with probiotics. Yeah, in Thailand also there are a lot of products such as probiotic beverage. Yeah, so maybe you have also traditional dish, yeah, that contains probiotics. So what is probiotics? Okay, so probiotics are beneficial microorganisms. Okay, so probiotic industry is a multi-million business with a high demand and scope for the future. People are trying hard, people are working hard to improve themselves in terms of quality, health quality, life quality. If you look at if you try to find Google Trends, try to go to the website Google Trends and you search for probiotics, you can see different regions. You can see different regions give you different contributions of interest on the topics that we find. For example, if I search probiotics in Asia, so we can find out which regions actually aware or actively talking about probiotics. Okay, so probiotic industry is a multi-million business with a high demand and scope for the future. So this is a good technology or products that we need to try to find out. So cost of probiotics is directly dependent on the substrate in which they are grown. Okay, so commercial probiotics production involves expensive substrate and defined media. Yeah, to handle probiotics also, to characterize probiotic also, of course we need research. Okay, not all microbes are probiotics. Only certain screen one, and also meet several requirements, that can be declared as probiotics. Only we can say that they are probiotic strains. In our lab, we have hundreds, more than 100, many probiotic strains, because we are actively working with probiotics. Okay, maybe you can come to visit us and come to our lab and see how we culture probiotics. And then it's not simply you get bacteria or microbes from traditional food or from fermented food, not like that, but we also screen the best candidate before we claim it as a probiotics. Yeah, there are some criteria that you need to follow before you can claim that your strains are probiotic strains. Yeah. So, organic waste contains rich nutrients required for the cultivation of microorganisms. Production of probiotics from organic waste is highly economical. Okay, so various sources of organic waste can be used as the cheapest sources for the production of different kinds of probiotics. Because as we understand that microbes is easy to grow. Okay, if you give them correct substrate, we give them correct food, we give them a right environment, so they can multiply and grow. Yeah, but we need to make sure that how we handle them, in terms of sterile condition, aseptic techniques need to be applied. Yeah. So we need to understand about their temperature, which temperature is good for them, optimized for them, which temperature that can harm, or maybe harsh chemicals or harsh high temperature also will affect the growth of their probiotics, because they are living organisms that we need to make sure that we optimize the real condition for them before we grow them in large scale. So, characteristics of good probiotics for healthcare. So, it should be non-toxic. It should be non-pathogenic and resistant to gastric juice. It has a capability to adhere to gut epithelial tissue and produce antibacterial substance. So, why people drink or use or consume Yakult? Because we want to make sure that our gut system is balanced, right? Because in our gut system, there are many microbes. Sometimes we have, there are good microbes, we also have pathogenic microbes. By taking or by consume Yakult, I don't know in Thailand whether you have other brand. I believe you have a lot because your technology is very good. Okay, your beverage industry is good. So we need to balance the pathogenic microbes that involve, that have on the in our gut system. So this is the that's why probiotic is very important for us to make sure that they fight the pathogenic bacteria in our gut system, that they also can balance and give good condition to our gut. So it should be anti-inflammatory, anti-mutagenic. It is able to influence metabolic activity, and it should enhance the digestive enzyme activity, growth rate, feed conversion rate, and assimilation efficiency. It should be grass, generally regarded as safe status. It cannot be pathogenic. If let's say you use pathogenic microbes, it will destroy your environment, it destroy your health. So it should maintain a healthy gut during stress period, remaining stable at higher temperature and for longer duration. How to make sure that we can control their survival rates, because this is one of the technology that we are currently working in Universiti Malaysia Pahang. As we know that microbes is very sensitive, microorganisms, they are very sensitive to high temperature. But by having technology that can encapsulate or can control or can prevent the bacteria to become something like fragile, so we need to immobilize them. Okay, this is our current practice in our lab in UMP. We have technology that can cover, that can control that can prevent the bacteria damage, yeah, if after we use any high temperature. Because of why? In beverage industries, so if you look at the manufacturing plant, okay, they need to use high temperature to during the packaging, yeah, the packaging process, they need to use high temperature, yeah, to remove all the contaminants outside of the packaging, maybe something like that. But what happened if you use microbes in the bottle? What happened if you use high temperature? It will damage. You will eliminate all the benefits of the living microorganism that you use in your products. That's why by having technology that can prevent your microbes, yeah, being died, yeah, so we can apply that one. Okay. So it should not go under any genetic modification due to change in the environmental parameters. It should help multifunction, improvement of nutritional status, feed conversion, efficiency, growth, and encounter a large number of pathogens. It should be cheap, efficient, and easily available. So, waste materials can offer great potentials as a medium for probiotic isolation and cultivation due to, first, abundance of nutrients. Waste materials such as agricultural residues, food processing byproducts, and organic waste can contain a diverse array of nutrients, including carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, vitamins, minerals that can serve as a rich source of nutrients for the growth and metabolism of probiotic bacteria. Okay, so high carbon content. Many waste materials are rich in carbon compounds. Yeah, they can provide a readily available carbon source for probiotic bacteria. Why? Because bacteria need carbon source, yeah, carbon source to degrade, yeah, for their consumption, yes, to grow, to multiply, to continue the fermentation process. But now we have waste materials that rich with those compounds, that rich with carbon compounds, that we can use it to be applied for the degradation of bacteria. So the bacteria can eat or can degrade the carbon source from waste. Okay. So carbon is an essential element for the growth and metabolism of microorganisms, and waste materials with high carbon content can provide a favorable environmental for probiotic bacteria to thrive. So, waste materials can offer great potential as medium for probiotic isolation and cultivation. Why? Due to, third one is sustainability and circular economy. By utilize waste materials as a medium for probiotic cultivation can contribute to sustainability efforts by reducing waste generation and promoting a circular economy approach. Okay, so we use waste to something else, to produce something else. We use waste to be used for the probiotic substrate or for use to medium for probiotic. So we are converting from waste to something else. So by working on this, so we can help in terms of circular economy. So by converting waste materials into valuable products such as probiotics, waste can be repurposed and utilized in a sustainable manner, contributing to waste reduction and resource conservation. Okay. How about cost effectiveness? So waste materials are often abundant. If you look at the supply chain, we are thinking about, do we have enough supply chain? Of course, because of waste materials are often abundant. But now we need to find out what type of waste that we want to use. Okay, so we need to do some study. We need to find out which waste give you higher carbon content to be used for substrate for probiotics, for example. Okay, so waste materials are often abundant and inexpensive compared to traditional media used for probiotic cultivation, such as synthetic or commercial media. By replacing media for probiotic, by using our invention, yeah, from waste, we use as a media for probiotic growth, we can save a lot of money. Because I give you an example, to grow bacteria, to grow lactic acid bacteria, which we can consider it as a probiotic strain, we need MRS media. we need MRS media, we need quite expensive material, yeah. You can go and you can find the price of one bottle of MRSF media. So if we can invent, or we can do, or we can find other alternative way, yeah, to prepare a new invention on the media for bacterial growth, yeah, for probiotic growth, we can cut a lot of, we can save a lot of money. Believe me, we can save a lot of money. It can give you a good industry in the future. Okay, so we also can control, and we can also monitor the quality of the media as well, and we also can put any additional value to the media that we want. Okay, so utilizing waste materials as a medium for probiotic cultivation can be cost effective, providing a more economical approach for probiotic production. So there are many opportunities if you try to work with waste, yeah. Especially here today for probiotics also, there are many opportunities for us to use waste, yeah, as a media, as a substrate in many things. So I give you one example. You can scan the QR code here to get what we call the original paper journal. Yeah. So it's about utilization of waste mixed pangasius fish fillet and pineapple core to produce peptone for lactic acid bacterial growth media. From this paper, from this journal, probiotic research has increased globally due to their potential benefits in animal production and human nutrition. So market demand for probiotics is growing worldwide, is rocketing, yeah, including in Indonesia and Malaysia, where they are mainly imported. Okay, when we import from outside, so it gives you quite high price, yeah, expensive. But if we can produce by ourselves, we can in terms of safety and efficacy also we can control. In terms of cost also we can control. So agro-industrial waste materials such as pangasius fillet waste, yeah, pangasius, I believe that in Thailand also you can find pangasius, right? And pineapple, yeah, I really like pineapple from Thailand, the small one, very sweet one, yeah. So pineapple core can be used for peptone production, a component of laboratory media for microbial growth. So the ratio of P to C affects peptone output with a P to C ratio of 3 to 1 and an incubation time of 1 day yielding the best results in terms of peptone production. So you can find from the journal, you just scan the QR code, you can get the material, yeah. So commercial and modified MRS growth media containing peptone had similar effects on lactic acid bacteria. Just now I mentioned to you about the media, right? Media for probiotic growth. So now, when we understand about the composition of the MRSA itself, so we can try to find out what we can do for our own product, our own media, yeah, to mimic like the MRS, the existing one in the market. Okay. So you can visit this one. You can have a read, yeah. So latest trends in probiotics in agriculture. The first one is precision application. Okay, what is precision application? So precision application is a probiotics being applied with precision agriculture techniques. There are many testing or application or techniques, yeah, they involve in agriculture, such as aerial spraying or localized application, which is to optimize their effectiveness and minimize their environmental impact. This allows for targeted delivery of probiotics to specific plants or area in the field, resulting in more efficient and effective use of probiotic products. Just now I mentioned about probiotic use in healthcare. We consume probiotic drinks, yeah, we take the tablet of probiotics for our gut system, for our gut's health. But now, interesting, because in agriculture also we can use probiotics. Not only our guts also need good environment, good condition. Yeah, we need also good soldiers to fight with enemies in our field. Yeah, at our farm, yeah, not only in our stomach, not only in our gut. That's why only the selective strains, only the good candidate, only the best candidate that we take, yeah, to help us, yeah, to prevent any issues in terms of not healthy soil, to solve issues in terms of growth of plants, to give more yield to your plants, to your, yeah. So there are many application of probiotics in agriculture. So nowadays, if you look at other countries, yeah, so the application of probiotics in agriculture is rising, yeah, is increasing, because people are now, they educate well, farmers are well educated about that. They are aware that the importance of using probiotics in agriculture. So this allows for targeted delivery of probiotics to specific plants or areas of the field, resulting in more efficient and effective use of probiotic products. Okay, because when we plant any vegetables, fruits, or any. So we need to make sure the soil that we use is good condition, balance in terms of good bacteria, yeah, bad bacteria. If let's say the soil is hostile, especially I tell you, the polluted soil, polluted area is really hard for us to make sure it becomes a virgin soil. Yeah, that's why we need probiotic to make sure that the soil becomes more better condition. Okay, so this is our role to understand to educate people about this technology. So let's friends in probiotics in agriculture in terms of formulation and innovation. Researchers and companies are continuously developing new formulations of probiotics to improve their shelf life, stability, and efficacy. Because microbes, yeah, when we grow microbes, we know the graph, yeah, the static one, when they multiply more, when they reduce, when they die. So how to improve their shelf life? So by using our input, by using our technology, or by using our knowledge about biotechnology, we can expand the shelf life of the probiotics. Okay, and also we make it stable, like the temperature, in terms of temperature, stability, and also efficacy. Okay, so this includes encapsulation techniques, freeze drying methods, and other innovative methods to protect probiotics from environmental conditions and ensure their viability during storage and application. So in our lab, yeah, our probiotics we can put in our handbag. So for 1 year, 2 years, still intact from our research. This means that it can help entrepreneur, for example, small entrepreneur, yeah, market, yeah, to cut the cost, from buying freezer, because it costs you electricity and it costs you a lot of money to buy the machine, to buy the freezer. So if let's say the probiotics can stay intact in room temperature, so it will give you more advantages. Okay, how about microbiome management? Yeah, microbiome management is also a latest trend in probiotic agriculture. So probiotics are being used to manage the plant and soil microbiome, which refers to the complex community of microorganisms that interact with plants and contribute to their health performance. By promoting a beneficial microbiome, probiotics can enhance plant growth, nutrient cycling, and disease resistance. Biofertilizer development. Okay, there are many biofertilizers in the market. So what makes your biofertilizer becomes unique? Yeah, so probiotics are being used as biofertilizers, providing plant available nutrients through biological processes such as nitrogen fixation, phosphate solubilization, and potassium mobilization. This reduces the reliance of synthetic fertilizers, which can have negative environmental impacts, and promotes more sustainable nutrient management practice in agriculture. By putting, by using probiotics can help you to eliminate those chemical or synthetic fertilizers that can harm you They can harm your kids. Yeah, they can harm your communities, because whatever that we eat here in the future, it depends on the whatever that we put in our farm. Okay, if you put not good chemical, not hazardous chemical, banned chemical, or not good fertilizers, it also end up in our body, yeah, in human body. Even though we have used it on 10 years back, but the impact is still, yeah, quite a long period of time. So, combination products. Probiotics are being combined with other beneficial microorganisms, biocontrol agents, or plant growth promoting substances to create multifunctional agricultural products. These combination products aim to provide a holistic approach to crop management by addressing multiple aspects of plant health, soil fertility, and pest control in a single application. There are many advantages of probiotics that you can combat those pests, yeah, pesticide. Yeah, as a pesticide also, we can use probiotics as a natural organic products. Yeah. So by adding some more additional material, so we can have a good formula, yeah, to solve other issues, especially plant disease issues. Yeah. Field trials and commercialization. Probiotics are being extensively tested in field trials across different crops and regions to evaluate their efficacy and scalability in real-world agricultural settings. So with promising results, probiotics are increasingly being commercialized and made available to farmers as viable option for sustainable crop production. Maybe if we have 5 different strains of probiotics, maybe probiotics A suitable for land in PSU, yeah, around the compound at Prince Wangkla University. Maybe because of the temperature, the weather, the soil itself, the microbiome inside the soil. So maybe bacteria A is good or suitable. But for example, in Universiti Malaysia Pahang, maybe we need another type of probiotics. So that's why we standardize based on regions, based on conditions. Okay, maybe bacteria B is more suitable for surrounding in Universiti Malaysia Pahang. So that's why field trials is important. We cannot assume, we cannot easily say that this probiotics A is suitable for all, something like that. Yeah, if we can say that, but a series of testing and trials, yeah, at site field trials are very important for us to claim that it can help. Yeah, maybe Asia regions is suitable for this kind of microbes, but other regions, yeah, in Antarctic, for example, yeah, low temperature, so maybe other microorganisms are suitable. So not all places give you same characteristics, or what we call it, input or condition, right? In Antarctic, so you need to understand about the temperature. In Thailand, so how about temperature in Thailand? 40 degree or 37 degree? Yeah. So in Malaysia, yeah, in April, for example, is quite hot, high temperature in April, and it comes to when November in Pahang, especially in Pahang, November maybe rainy days, so maybe the temperature is drop. So it is different, give you different phenomena. But now, by having real field trials, so it will help us to get more input on the optimized condition, that what strains are the best for us to use. Okay. So with promising results, probiotics are increasingly being commercialized and made available to farmers as a viable option for sustainable crop production. But sometimes farmers, yeah, because they are more happy with whatever that they started from long time ago, it's really hard for them to change their mindset, right? For example, if they get used to this fertilizer since 20 years back, it's really hard for them to change another formulation. You can say anything, you can say this is a good fertilizer, this is a good probiotic, this is good for your plants or whatever. But if let's say if they don't want to change their mindset, So you name it. How many technologies also, any other technology also cannot help because of the person. The person itself should try to adapt with the technology. The person itself should also need to help themselves to change their mindset and try at the technology to make sure it can help to give more yield to their crops. Okay. So, criteria for probiotics in agriculture. I hope that everyone still can follow me. Please let me know if you cannot follow, if I'm too fast or whatever. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, safety. Safety is one important criteria. Probiotics should be safe for humans, animals, environment with no harmful effects on non-target organisms or ecosystems. If we use harm microbes, use pathogenic microbes or not safety microbes, so it can give you bad effect, yeah, in a very short period of time because of it can multiply in very short period of time, yeah. In 48 hours also it can multiply and grow very well. So that's why screening is the best option. That's why to conduct this research, you need to have a background or knowledge in microbiology, which is one topic in biotechnology. So efficacy. Probiotics should have demonstrated effectiveness in promoting plant growth, improving soil health, enhancing nutrient uptake, and or controlling plant diseases or pests. So we need to do the characterization of the probiotics that we select, and we need to test whether they can help you to get the better growth of plant, yeah, to help in terms of disease. If you have fungi, so they can fight with the fungi or any, yeah. So you need to do some testing. So stability. Probiotics should be stable under different environmental conditions, including temperature, pH, and moisture, to ensure the viability and activity in the field. Can you imagine if you use different temperatures or different pH, yeah, so it will harm your microbes. So the microbe is quite sensitive, yeah. So you need to make sure that you optimize or you have good conditions or surroundings before you cultivate, before you culture your microbes in large scale. Compatibility. So probiotics should be compatible with existing agricultural practices and inputs such as fertilizers, pesticides, and irrigation methods. Sustainability. Probiotics should contribute to sustainable agriculture practice by reducing the use of synthetic fertilizers, pesticides, and other chemicals, and promoting natural resource conservation. Okay. My experience in working with probiotic actually involved many years because it's not that easy because we want to characterize only we use the best strains, yeah. Because if we go to site and we do some sample collection, so we can capture many things on our plate. But by doing screening, we only choose the selective one, yeah, for our target. Okay. Then after that, we need to do a lot of testing to make sure that it meets the criteria, yeah, of probiotics in terms of the pH, in terms of bile, whether they can survive in bile condition. So there are many. There are long lists that you need to follow before you can claim that your bacteria is probiotic candidate. Okay. So applications of probiotics in agriculture. The first one is plant growth promotion. Probiotics can enhance plant growth by improving nutrient availability. We can stimulate root development by using probiotics, and we can produce plant growth promoting substances. How to make sure your soil is in good health, yeah? So probiotics can improve soil health by increasing organic matter content in the soil. It can enhance soil structure, and we can promote beneficial microbial activity. Once the soil is healthy condition, yeah, so it can it can support the growth of plant. If let's say your soil is not good, it is a soil in bad soil, so how can the root can absorb as maximum as they can the nutrient uptake, yeah, into to the whole plant. Okay, so nutrient management. Probiotics can improve nutrient uptake by solubilizing phosphorus, fixing nitrogen, and mobilizing other essential nutrients for plant uptake. For disease control, probiotics can control plant diseases by producing antimicrobial substances, competing with pathogens for nutrients and space, and inducing plant defense mechanisms. Another applications of probiotics in agriculture in pest control. Probiotics can control pests by producing toxins or repellents against insects, nematodes, or other harmful organisms. For the stress tolerance, probiotics can help plants tolerate abiotic stresses such as drought, salinity, and extreme temperatures by improving plant resilience and stress tolerance mechanism. Okay, sometimes with the bad weather, bad environment, sometimes maybe your plants have been attacked by fungi, insects, so the plants are very stressed. So how probiotics can balance, can help the plants to combat those issues. Okay, are you okay? I hope you are with me. Okay, so we continue with probiotics in animal. So probiotics have been used as therapeutic supplements in farm animals since the mid-1970s. Not only people or humans eat probiotics for our health to make sure that we also look younger, gorgeous, yeah, and look fabulous. Yeah, animals also consume probiotics. Yeah, since long time ago, 1970s. Why? Because they want to decrease morbidity and mortality, to improve their feeding behavior, and increase production yield of meat, milk, and eggs. Nowadays, we have several issues regarding meat quality, eggs quality. Sometimes when you look at the eggs, sometimes is large, medium. We have different size of eggs, right? So in terms of quality, also we have different quality. So by adding additional value of probiotics in this kind of business, or this kind of this technology into this approach, so we can help to increase in terms of quality and yield, yeah, of the eggs or maybe meat or milk, yeah, as for farm animals. So probiotics are also used in the food industry due to their ability to inhibit a wide variety of pathogenic microorganisms from the environment and diet. Okay, because microorganisms something that we cannot look at with our naked eyes. You know, we need something to, we need microscope, something like, you know, to focus, to zoom, to see the single microbes. But if you go to restaurants, you go to any places, so how? Okay, because we cannot see with our naked eyes. That's why if you have probiotics, it can hide. It can be something like a soldier to you, a good soldier that can fight the enemy. Okay, so we can use it in a food industry. Yeah. Due to the ability to inhibit wide variety of pathogenic microorganisms from the environment and diet. Probiotics combat unwanted microorganisms through production of inhibitory compounds or direct cell-to-cell interactions. Okay, so the second point, it can inhibit or combat the unwanted cells or unwanted microorganisms that exist in our environment. Okay. Probiotics produce antimicrobial compounds such as organic acids, hydrogen peroxides, bacteriocins, and biosurfactants that inhibit the growth of pathogenic microorganisms. Not only we can use the whole cell of probiotics, but it also can produce, yeah, antimicrobial compounds. Yeah, so it can inhibit the growth of pathogenic microorganisms in your environment. Lactic acid and acetic acids are commonly produced by probiotic bacteria, which reduce the pH and create a less favorable environment for pathogen growth. Because we look at the pH of the lactic acid is quite low, So maybe it's not the pathogenic microbes cannot not have a favor to grow inside that kind of environment. Yeah, so it can help you from eliminate the unwanted microbes, yeah, in your environment. So probiotics also enhance resistance to intestinal pathogens by competitively colonizing intestinal adhesion sites and nutrients. Sorry. Okay, still follow me? Okay, we move to the next point. The increase in demand for animal products due to the growing world population has posed challenges for the animal production sector, leading to improvements in genetic selection, health status, nutrition, and the use of antibiotics and growth promoters. So, the use of antibiotics and growth promoters has improved the health status and feed efficiency of farm animals, resulting in approximately 18% increase in overall growth performance. Okay. However, concerns have been raised over the development of antibiotic-resistant microbes, increase in foodborne allergies, and negative impacts on the environment associated with the use of antibiotics and growth promoters in animal production. That's why this become concern to consumers. There's also a rising concern among consumers about the effects of antibiotics and growth promoters on human health. We try to solve this issue, but we have another issues. So how to make sure that we solve both issues? As an alternative, researchers have been investigating the supplementation of probiotics either as single strains or mixed strains in the diet of farm animals. Or sometimes they use consortium strains, yeah, to fight those issues, yeah, to solve those issues. Yeah. So probiotic supplementation in animal feed is being explored as a potential way to improve the quantity, quality, and homogeneity of farm animals and their products. You also can mix your meal, yeah, your animal feed products, yeah, with your probiotics. So next, effects of probiotics on growth and performance of farm animals. Yeah, so you can see there different types of animal: broiler, layer, bovine. So the host age, yeah. So from 1 day old to 15 months old, for example, there. So we can see probiotic strain that they use, yeah, such as for broiler, they use mixed probiotic strain. They use Bacillus subtilis, and they use Bacillus valizensis, and many more. They administered the probiotics to the broiler, and they give probiotic to their broiler every day, yeah, once a day, yeah, for 35 days, for example. So they want to see the outcome, what happened. Okay, so same goes to bovine. Yeah, same goes to bovine. So same goes to this. They use Lactobacillus plantarum. Yeah, and they use also the mixed species such as L plantarum. Here, L plantarum. Yeah, so they monitor for 83 days. And then maybe they can see whether is there any effect on the stools of the animals. Okay, if in the lab we use mice, yeah, to see whether before and after we give them a probiotic. Okay, or we inject them or we induce them with salmonella, for example, to make sure that they have problems with their problems, and then we try to balance with probiotics. But we take the stool sample, yeah, the feces sample, and we try to monitor. We try to see, we try to grow in the lab also what types of bacteria growth, yeah, pathogenic bacteria growth, and then we try to see whether our probiotic also can fight the pathogenic bacteria. So those testings have been done in the lab before we applied in farm animals, yeah, in farm, on farm lah. So here, probiotics in aquaculture. Just now we talked about probiotics in animals, yeah. Now probiotics in aquaculture. previously we are talking about probiotics in agriculture. Yeah, so what it is all about. Okay, so probiotics in aquaculture also a promising promising research, yeah, nowadays. So people are using probiotic because of the competition for addition sites. So probiotic organisms compete with the pathogens for the addition sites in the gut epithelial surface and finally prevent their colonization. So this is also a medium for competition for nutrients. So competition for nutrients can play an important role in the composition of the microbiota of the intestinal tract. The aquaculture also needs probiotic for them to balance the environment, yeah, in their environment. So probiotic bacteria release a variety of chemical compounds that are inhibitory to both gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. These include bacteriocins, lysozymes, proteases, halogen peroxides. Sometimes people also use probiotic because they want to give more value to their products, give more value to their fish, give more value to their lobster, give more value to their shrimps. Because by putting probiotics, sometimes people say that it can enhance the quality of their shrimp skin, quality of the skin, lobsters appearance, you know. So it gives you more value to the farmers, or you know, and then it can help also to give them because we know that different types of aquaculture give you different quality, right? So if you want to sell your lobster, so there are also different quality or types of lobster. If you can make sure your lobster looks uh, well, glowing, you know, what we call uh, gorgeous, for example. So it gives you more. It will give you more additional in terms of money, in terms of yield, in terms of the quality of the lobster. So that's why probiotics nowadays are what we call it as a unique. Yeah, because of many applications can be done by using probiotics. We can see here, yeah, probiotics in aquaculture. Fish with probiotics looks very confident, for example, yeah, because of it looks healthy, yeah, nicely look, yeah. But fish without probiotics, something like so, you know, vice versa. So why? Because of probiotic can help in terms of disease control. It also can be a promoter of growth. It can improve in terms of digestion. It can improve in the immune system. It is a source of nutrients. It improves water quality. It is a promoter of reproduction. You can need to imagine in aquaculture industry, if you have any difficulties in terms of disease that affected your fish, yeah, for example. So not only one fish die, but many or hundreds or thousands of your fish die. So it also give a bad impact to the farmer because they need to make sure that they not to have too much loss, yeah, because it involves a lot of money. So by having a good product that can help in terms of the healthy of the fish, yeah, to maintain the condition, to maintain the growth, to maintain the digestion one, yeah, to improve the water quality because of in one size of what we call not pool but tank, yeah. So we need to make sure the water quality is also good, okay, because when we put our when there are fish there, yeah, we give them, we feed them, yeah, also they also produce something else. So it has a lot of things inside, not only good microbes but only bad microbes. So if you look at the water quality also, we can see very cloudy, yeah, very cloudy. So how to maintain the quality of the water? So that's why probiotic also a soldier or a good candidate to make your water becomes very clear, yeah, very good, yeah, in terms of physical characteristics, yeah, and it also can promote as a promoter of reproduction. Okay, any question? So if you don't have any questions, can we continue? But if you have any question, you can stop me so you can ask me any question before we go further. Okay. So probiotics in aquaculture, what benefit of probiotics versus antibiotics. Probiotics create no illegal residue. Yeah. Probiotics helps to digest pollutants. If you have a lot of probiotics, there are no issues because they are not harmful. And if you have more probiotics, is no illegal residue. Probiotics boost immune system. It is cheaper to use probiotics than antibiotic because probiotics, as I mentioned before, we can grow in one time. We can grow. We can give them, feed them with what we call carbon sauce, yeah, medium. Yeah, we fermented them. So let them for 48 hours, for example, 2 days, so they can grow very well, rapidly grow. So it's quite cheaper. Antibiotics lead to slow growth rate of larvae. And bacteria cannot develop resistance to probiotics but can to antibiotics. So if you try to find out keywords for antibiotics resistance, we find a lot of antibiotic resistance, yeah, in the academic journal. Let's move to biofloc technology. So biofloc is a waste from food, feces and urine concentrations increase ammonia, nitrite and nitrate that affect water quality in fish culture. So by increment of the ammonia, so bacteria can convert ammonia to nitrite. Yeah, so the bacteria that can convert is Nitrosomonas, Nitrosococcus to nitrite. So from nitrite to nitrates, bacteria convert nitrite to nitrate. Yeah, we use Nitrobacter, Nitrosophila. And then bacteria convert nitrate gases nitrogen. They're from nitrates to nitrogen. So by using this biofloc technology, so it is the use of aggregates of bacteria, algae or protozoa held together in the matrix along with particulate organic matter for the purpose of improving water quality, waste treatment and disease prevention. In other words, biofloc is a symbiotic process that includes confined aquatic animals, heterotrophic bacteria and other microbial species in water. So consumption of bioflocs also provides nutritional value of cultured aquatic species. So by having this technology, yeah, so we can help to improve the water quality of your aquaculture farm. Okay. And at the same time, we can give a good environment, good water environment to the fish, and we can get more quality of fish in terms of taste, in terms of physical, in terms of yield, in terms of quality. Okay, so we also can prevent any unnecessary diseases. So factors to consider for organic waste utilization. There are many factors that you need to consider. Okay, first, type of waste. What type of waste that you need to consider? Yeah, so the type of organic waste being utilized is an important factor to consider when producing bioproducts. So different types of waste have different compositions and may require different processes for efficient utilization. So the waste must be abundant, low cost, and have the potential for high value product recovery. If you have not enough waste, yeah, it will give you, we don't have enough supply chain, good supply chain for us to produce, to convert to other products. Maybe it's not worth it for us to explore if you don't have enough or you don't have abundant waste. Pre-treatment. Pre-treatment is an essential step in the bioproduct development process, which involves physical, chemical or biological methods to modify the structure of organic waste materials to make them more accessible for microbial conversion. So proper preparation of the feedstock is essential for efficient utilization of organic waste. So this includes sorting, cleaning and size reduction of the waste to make it suitable for chosen process. What is microbial selection? So microbial selection is because of microorganisms play a vital role in the bioproduct development process. By selection, the appropriate microorganisms with specific metabolic pathway is critical to achieve the desired bioproducts. Choice of process. Process also we need to consider which one that we want to use. There are several processes for utilizing organic waste, including anaerobic digestion, composting, fermentation. So which one that we want to use? Yeah. So the choice of process will depend on the type and composition of the waste as well as the desired bioproducts. So for example, fermentation conditions, the fermentation conditions such as pH, temperature, nutrient availability, significant impact on the growth and activity of microorganisms, and hence the production of bioproducts also give us more points, yeah, which process that we would like to choose. Product yield and quality. So the yield and quality of the bioproducts produced from organic waste will depend on the chosen process and the efficiency of the process. So it is important to optimize the process to achieve the desired yield and quality. Okay, so downstream processing, after fermentation, the product that must be recovered, purified and formulated to meet specific applications requirements. So for downstream processing, steps must be optimized to maximize the yield and purity of the byproduct while minimizing production cost. Without optimization, so we actually exposed to non-effective costs. Yeah. So we need to make sure that every single step need to be optimized. Okay. Life cycle analysis. A comprehensive life cycle analysis must be conducted to evaluate the environmental and economic feasibility of the bioproduct development process. So what is environmental impact? Yeah. So the environmental impact of utilizing organic waste must be considered, including the energy and resources required for the process, as well as the emissions and waste generated. How about economic feasibility? Yeah. So the economic feasibility of utilizing organic waste to produce bioproducts is an important consideration. So the cost of the process and the market value of the bioproducts must be taken into account to determine the variety of the process. Look at this one, yeah, the schematic diagram of the rendering process. So the leftovers from animal oils collected, yeah. So we from the meat lockers, yeah, packing plant and butcher shops. So example, scraps, bones, fat, blood, feathers, yeah, that we collect. So we proceed with the rendering process. We also can find from grocery stores, from scraps, from expired rotisserie, chickens, meats, and also from restaurants. Yeah, so we proceed with the rendering process. So for the rendering process, we need to ground. We need to cut into small pieces, and then there are another phase which we need to cook. We need to separate fat and protein and to kill bacteria. So we have another two channel, fat and protein. So fat will be purified by centrifugation, and then you have finished products. Yeah. So these finished products is choice of white grease, fat for feeding, yellow grease or poultry fat. Yeah. So and another one is a protein part. Protein is been ground to uniform size. Yeah, uniform size, and maybe it's a value added to existing what we call animal feed in the market. So now we have finished products, meat meal, blood meal, meat and bone meal, poultry byproduct meal, and feather meal. The third process is ingredients are used to produce biofuel or green energy, pet food, livestock feed, aquaculture feed, fertilizer, personal care items, industrial uses. So from this rendering process, so we will get many potential ingredients that can be used for different approaches. So rendering is a physical and chemical transformation process using various equipments and techniques. Okay, so all of the rendering processes involve the application of heat, the extraction of moisture, and the separation of fat. And the product from this process can be direct sell as raw material and be proposed to use in animal feed production. Okay. Benefits of rendering animal waste. What is the benefit of rendering animal waste? Why not skip the rendering process and just throw your animal waste in a one tank and let them work for you? Okay. So by using rendering animal waste, all waste generated at the slaughterhouse can be treated locally, you can monitor the waste, we can control them, yeah, we can make it uniform. So it eliminates all the pathogens and we can prevent any disease from spreading and eliminates possible contamination risk. Generating better quality meals and all as a result of the innovative technology and short processing time. Yeah. So less odor released to the environment. So if you have feces or what we call stools or from your animal house or animal slaughtering place, so we can actually reduce the odor to the environment. That can also give you not good impact, yeah, to the environment with the bad odor. So lower energy consumption due to shorter cycle time and pressure vessel. By using the system, smaller footprint is needed compared to storing the waste. Higher value generated from special waste, blood, feather. Okay, if you try to find this source of waste, yeah, blood and feather, nowadays there are many potential value for the blood and feather industry. Okay, so from waste from the slaughterhouse, yeah, we can get blood. So what we can do with blood? Also we have feather. It's a waste. What we can use with the waste, with the feather. So there are many potential components that we can invent, we can explore to produce to something beneficial products. Okay, that's our role as a researcher, right? So no transportation of waste needed. The same equipment can process all types of waste. So from the slaughterhouse, yeah, we don't need to take a truck, yeah, to put all the waste and bring to the landfill. So it also costs you a lot of money. The transportation itself is also a lot of money need. Yeah? So by having that kind of rendering machines or rendering equipment in your animal house, I mean at the slaughterhouse, so you at the same time can produce another products to be sold. So rendering is the recycling animal byproducts, dead or infectious animals, protein and fat recovery from animal waste disposal. To recycle animal byproducts from the agricultural and food industries. Rendering is designed to treat animal byproducts, losses, and carcasses, including poultry, fish, cow, porcine, sheep, blood, feather, and bones, which constitute a source of hazardous waste. Rendering allows to recycle the protein and fats, including sterilization, shredding, separating solids, oil and water, and drying, allowing using the result as dry nutrition, such as meat meal, bone meal, blood meal, feathers meal within the animal food industry. Okay? So, real and perceived biosafety risks of animal byproducts and food waste. Biosafety of feed ingredients and biosecurity of feed supply chains are very important in minimizing the risk of transmission of hazardous biological agents from feed to animals and in some cases from animals to human food. So the procedures, the documentation need to be good enough for us to understand about it. The risk of transmission of hazardous biological agents is one of the main reasons that food waste and rendered animal byproducts have not been used for their fullest potential in animal feeds globally. Some countries, they are working on a certain byproducts, a certain waste. Some countries, they are very sensitive on the waste that produced by the slaughterhouse. For example, feather. Some are interested to work more to explore what we can produce by having feather, yeah, abundance of feather, what products that we can produce. But some people may say that this is not good in terms of hygiene or whatever, so the feather itself may be blah blah blah. So there are many reasons and many excuses. So that's why every people or every they have their own argumentation on this. Okay. All right. So the risk of transmission of hazardous biological agent is one of the main reasons that food waste and rendered animal byproducts have not been used to their fullest potential. They have potential, but not fully utilized because of the constraint, because of the sensitive issues. Japan and South Korea have regulations and processes in place to minimize the risk of disease transmission and promote the use of food waste in animal feeds, while the European Union has restrictive regulations that reflect different perception of feed safety risk. Different countries have different regulations, different perspective, different argument. So you need to refer to their different countries if you want to explore that. Yeah. So it is necessary to re-evaluate the potential biosafety risk of utilizing food waste and rendered animal byproduct nutritional resources in animal feeds and determine if their utilization can be increased by improving biosecurity process controls, managing critical biosafety risk factors, and overcoming unwarranted field safety concerns. We also need to communicate to community. So I can give you examples, especially in GMO, genetically modified organisms. So it's not only involve scientists or policymakers, but we also involve until the farmers, the communities, because we want to deliver the message. And before we implement something, we need to exercise. We need to test whether it is safety is good enough for us to implement. So by listening to other people's opinion, so also give us insight, whether we want to continue, whether it is good plan for us for the economy, income generation for our country. So the communication should be open, not only for policy makers. We also need to educate until the lower level. Okay, so community should engage. We should engage with the community to make that sure them and they understand. Yeah, if not, it won't give you good sign if you, let's say, you have you make a policy but without understanding in terms of, the whole understanding with the community. Okay, so it is necessary to reevaluate the potential biosafety risks of utilizing food waste and rendered animal byproduct nutritional resources in animal feeds. And we can determine if their utilization can be increased by improving biosecurity process controls, managing critical biosafety risk factors, and overcoming unwarranted feed safety concerns. So this is real and perceived biosafety risk of animal byproducts and food waste. This is a summary of relative biosecurity risks of various livestock mortality disposal methods routinely used around the world. Disposal methods such as burial, burning, incineration on farm, incineration, large central facility, disposal method like rendering, composting, anaerobic digestion, and alkaline hydrolysis. So we can see in terms of human health, dioxins and furans. If you implement burial method, so dioxin of furans is very low. If burning, it produces high dioxin of furans. If incineration on farm, low. So if rendering, we don't know because not enough data or maybe not enough studies have been conducted. So for pathogen contamination, so we can divide into air, soil and vegetation, water, land application of waste, transport animals or farm, prevent destruction. So from here we can see whether the pathogen contamination in air is low or very low or moderate. If composting is moderate, if alkaline hydrolysis is very low, if burial is low, okay. But how about the soil and vegetation? Yeah, by using the burial method disposal, so it gives you moderate pathogen contamination. Yeah, but alkaline hydrolysis give you very low one. Okay, so you can find this one. You can go to this summary. You can Google it. You can get the information on it. But not all information is give you input because of maybe people are still working on it or studying on it. Okay. So this is a summary of potential health risks of various animals, carcass and tissue disposal methods. So here hazardous agent, we have Campylobacter, E. coli, Listeria, Salmonella, Bacillus anthracis. So look at the different types of the method of our composting, disposal method, rendering, incineration, landfill, fire and burial. So if hazardous agent by rendering give you low because you also involve sterilization during the method of rendering. So incineration will give you low of the existing pathogenic microbes, and but for burial give you high because you only bury your waste, right? So many things can uh, cultivate there. Okay, so maybe the existence of pathogenic bacteria can be high if you use this method. So Cryptosporidium, Giardia, Clostridium tetani, so and all of the hydrogen sulfide. Okay, you can see the different disposal method give you different level, whether low or high. Okay, so for example, hydrogen sulfide. For hydrogen sulfide, if you use rendering techniques, it gives you low, low hydrogen sulfide. But if you use burial technique, it gives you high hydrogen sulfide. Yeah. Okay. So look at the particulate sulfur dioxide, nitrous oxide, nitrous particles. By implementing the rendering techniques, give you low of that agent. But if you use fire, so it give you high hazardous agent. Okay. How about methane and carbon dioxide? Rendering give you low methane and carbon dioxide, but burial give you high methane and carbon dioxide. So by comparing those disposal methods, you can get an idea, which method that you are going to pursue. Okay, whether you want to use rendering, whether you want to use incineration, landfill, fire, or burial. Okay. So real and perceived biosafety risks of animal byproducts and food waste. Okay, you can see country, Canada, Germany, Netherlands, United Kingdom, and United States. So animal proteins that involved, this is a summary of surveys reporting percentage of samples contaminated with salmonella in various types of feed ingredients. So for animal proteins that contaminated with salmonella, in Canada it's about 20, in the United States it's about 33, in Germany about 6, in the United Kingdom it's about 3. Why? Yeah. So if you look at the plant proteins, the highest one is from Canada, it's about 18. But this is quite general information. We don't know time, or we don't know the intervals of the process. Okay. So here I would like to read about this one. The published surveys from several different countries and time periods show that salmonella contamination can occur not only in animal protein byproducts, but also in grains, fish meal, and plant protein sources. So what happens if, let's say, we eat contaminated food with salmonella? Of course, we will have problem later due to diarrhea or anything. So there is a general perception that animal-derived byproducts pose the greatest risk of salmonella contamination, but plant-based ingredients can also be contaminated with salmonella, but maybe slightly decreased. So fortunately, salmonella can be easily inactivated by processing ingredients at 55 degrees Celsius for 1 hour or 60 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes. So because of feed ingredients can be a potential source of salmonella infection in food-producing animals, regulations to control contamination in feed have existed for many decades in some countries. Okay, how to prevent your animal feed from salmonella that will affect your animal, that will affect your poultry. So, however, despite many years of research involving factors causing contamination and mitigation strategies to activate and control salmonella in feed supply and manufacturing chains, it continues to be a challenge to achieving a salmonella negative standard for animal feeds. It's really hard, but we can minimize it. So although microbial contamination has been shown in many types of feed ingredients and animal feed, animal byproducts meals have generally been considered to be at highest risk. Okay, so as I mentioned before, maybe by using probiotics also can help to inhibit the salmonella growth in the animal feed residues. So when we give our poultry or our animal with the probiotics, it can fight with the salmonella. Okay, we can get the sample, the fecal sample, stool sample, to evaluate, yeah, the decrease of the salmonella, yeah, in the gut system. Okay. I hope everybody is still here with me. Yeah. We have another maybe 10 minutes, yeah, before we break for lunch. Yeah. If we break for 1 hour lunch, for 1 hour break. So biotechnology in organic waste utilization. Okay. So there are different terminologies here regarding these issues. So biodegradation. What is biodegradation? So biotechnology can be used to degrade organic waste such as agricultural residues, food waste, municipal solid waste through the use of microorganisms. This can convert waste into useful products such as biogas, compost, and biofertilizers. Okay, because before we implement this method, we need to understand about the mechanism. Okay, so for example, you have some samples, soil samples. So you want to isolate microbes from the soil sample, for example, or from your waste. But once after you culture your microbes, so you observe, yeah, the physical appearance, yeah, the CFU per mil, or the quality of your bacteria, the genus and species for your microbes. And then you need to also to optimize the nutrient uptake, yeah, nutrient intake. We need to control the giving of the carbon source, nitrogen source to your culture. So from there, you can see which is the best carbon source that can be utilized, yeah, that your microbes can utilize. Okay, so before we go further, we need to understand about the substrate that we give to our microbes. From them, we can identify the degradation rate, yeah, the microbes that can degrade or break down, yeah, break down the carbohydrates, break down the carbon source, break down the nitrogen source, yeah, into a small pieces. Yeah, so this is biodegradation. This can convert waste into useful products, biogas, compost, or biofertilizer, or many more. Okay. So biotechnology in organic waste utilization. We have source material. We have pre-conversion processing. We have biodegradation conversion process. We have post-conversion processing, raw product, and final disposition. From the municipal solid waste, we can that we can get from landfill, or we can do some separation. Yeah, we can also reduce the size, and we can do a biochemical test. We can separate, yeah, with the effluent separation. Yeah, before we analyze, we can get different what we call this one, different form of waste, like humus, alcohol, sugar, protein, or we also can separate the MSW to biological methods, such as we can also grinding and do also separation to get humus, glass, and metal. We also can do in the gas collection system, and we can produce gas methane to as our energy backup. Okay, so this is all the final disposition, yeah, in terms of energy, useful materials. So if it depends on what target or what objective that we want to do with the our waste, and what equipments that we have, what is our capacity, what is our supply chain, whether we have enough materials. Sometimes maybe we don't get standardized waste every day. For example, today we have this kind of waste. Maybe we have animal waste, shrimp waste. Yeah. Maybe tomorrow we have another waste. We have more on in terms of vegetable waste. So maybe next we have chicken manure, we have a different ways. So they are not uniform. So how the issue is, I would like to, I'm very interested to know how could we standardize if we in the center in processing those waste. if let's say day by day we get different types of waste, how we are going to confirm that the product they produce is in terms of quality is the same one. Okay, because you sometimes you can control. Okay, people are coming to you and they bring a lot this waste A. Tomorrow they bring waste B. Yeah, and then later they give you waste C. So A, B, C is different ways. So how are you going to sorting it out, and how are you going to produce a finishing product if let's say the raw material also different? Yeah, that's my question. Maybe it's challenging. This is challenging for us. Yeah, but of course there is a solution for this issue. Okay, all right. So, biotechnology in organic waste utilization. So, industries and municipal waste to fertilizer processing facilities. So, we also can have GMP lab to process probiotic, to process probiotics. To have what we call side products from probiotics. Probiotic, as you know, we can produce what we call a tablet for healthcare. We can also produce as a beverage. We also can prepare as cosmetic that consists of probiotic ingredients. By having GMP lab, give you advantages, yeah, for us to explore what kind of products that we are going to produce. We also can have a research center, and from the fertilizer processing facilities, we can get compost and via the biotechnology process that enrich with probiotic and prebiotic. We can also add on prebiotic, yeah, a nutrient for the probiotic, okay, with sugar prebiotic. So after that, we can get bio-organic fertilizer. Yeah. So biotechnology in organic waste utilization, there are many approaches or many potential market or many potential products that we can explore. Okay, we can produce probiotic powder, stock feed, healthcare product, aqua food, and product development. Okay. So composting. Composting is the common biodegradation process that converts organic waste, such as food waste and yard waste, into compost, nutrient-rich soil amendment that can be used for agriculture and gardening. Yeah, at home you have a lot of food waste, yeah, remaining food waste. So you put together, you compost so for some intervals, so you can get this kind of materials. So what is anaerobic digestion? So anaerobic digestion is another biodegradation process that uses microorganisms to break down organic waste in the absence of oxygen. Without oxygen also you can grow the process, the fermentation. So produce biogas which can be used for electricity and heat production. So here we have waste food, we have biosolids and organic wastewater, agricultural waste that we can further pre-processing it, and we can continue further with anaerobic digester before we do the impurity removal for the biogas and to be consumed as electricity source, thermal and fuel. And also we can do, after the anaerobic digester, we can do post-processing of solid or liquid effluent. We can get the solid products, yes, such as compost, animal beddings, and we also can get liquid products such as organic fertilizer. Okay, so this is a cycle from waste to something else. Yeah, from waste to energy, from waste to electricity, from waste to products, from waste to fuel, from waste to liquid or solid products. Are you okay? So I think I have 5 minutes more for me to cover before we break. Anaerobic digestion. So biogas is a primarily composed or maintained CH4, carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, water vapor, and trace amounts of other gases. So biogas can be used to provide heat, generate electricity, and power cooling systems among other uses. So biogas can be purified to generate renewable natural gas and can be sold, injected into the natural gas distribution system, compressed and used as a vehicle fuel or processed further to generate alternative transportation fuel, energy products or other advanced biochemicals and bioproducts. So you can find out that from manure from cow's manure or pig's manure, so we can get the waste. Okay, so the wastewater biosolid also from municipal sewage sludge, from food waste and from organics. So we put in the tank of to do the anaerobic digestion before we convert it into the electricity, bioproduct feedstock, heat, vehicle fuel, renewable natural gas, organic fertilizer, animal bedding, other products and crop irrigation, and also horticulture products. So digester is the residual material left after the digestion process and is composed of liquid and solid portions. So with treatment, with good knowledge, with good technology, we can separate the forms of waste into solid and liquid. We can also enhance the use of the finished products, yeah, by making it as a nutrient-rich fertilizer or a foundation material for bio-based products, or as a animal bedding, or as simple as soil amendment. So the digested products can be a source of revenue of cost savings and are often pursued to increase the financial and net environmental benefit of an AD, anaerobic digestion and biogas project. Okay. How to handle organic waste for anaerobic digestion. So the waste handling system prepares the feedstock for use in the anaerobic digester. It depends on the type of feedstock and the type of digester. Pre-treatment may be required. So pre-treatment steps may include, first is size reduction. The second one is contamination removal, and the third one is equilibration storage. Okay, so what is size reduction? Okay, certain types of anaerobic degradation or biogas systems may require size reduction of feedstock to easy to pump and mix into the reactor. So to have the standard size also give them easy process and speed up the process. Contamination removal such as sand or packaging can disrupt the AD system and must be removed. So pre-processing options such as sand separators can remove non-digestible materials, while contaminants are sent for disposal at a landfill. How about equilibration and storage? The final blended feedstock is temporarily stored before being introduced into the reactor. So storage helps homogenize and even out fluctuations in the feedstock and may lead to odors if hydrolysis and acidogenesis begin. Okay, this is how we handle the organic waste for anaerobic digestion. So, biotechnology in organic waste utilization, bioremediation. What is bioremediation? So, biotechnology can also be used to remediate contaminated waste sites by using microorganisms. By using microorganisms, we can help and solve issues of the contaminated area. Yeah, to detoxify hazardous waste materials such as heavy metals, pesticides, and petroleum products, and we produce to something else. So, what is phytoremediation in situ? Phytoremediation is a bioremediation technique that uses plants to absorb and remove pollutants from contaminated soil and water. Okay, what is bioreactor systems ex situ? So bioreactor systems use microorganisms to break down and detoxify hazardous waste such as heavy metals and organic compounds in industrial and municipal waste streams. How about bioprocessing? So biotechnology can be used to convert waste into high-value products such as biofuels, bioplastic, and other bio-based materials through bioprocessing techniques such as a fermentation and enzymatic conversion. So you're familiar with biofuels? It's a biotechnology to produce biofuels such as ethanol and biodiesel from waste material such as agricultural residues, food waste, and municipal solid waste. So bioplastic is a technology that we use biotechnology to produce bioplastics, which are biodegradable and made from the renewable sources such as starch, cellulose, and vegetable oil. Okay, so waste to energy. Biotechnology can be used to convert waste into energy through the production of biogas, biofuels, and other forms of renewable energy. Okay, so how about biosensors? Yeah, are you familiar with biosensors? So biosensors are rapidly grow. Yeah, especially after the pandemic, when people are trying to find what we call a rapid method to detect, yeah, COVID-19, for example. But for your information, biosensors not only for healthcare or medical application, but it's also used for agriculture. Yeah. So there are many approach of using biosensor, yeah, especially in waste detection or to detect and monitor waste products and pollutants in manufacturing plant and enabling better waste management and environmental monitoring. Okay, we also can use biosensor to detect a nitrite level of swiftlet, what we call it one, bird nest, yeah, swiftlet nest, yeah, and because of I think several years ago, we have some issues where our swiftlet nest got problem contaminated with nitrite. The nitrite level is high, and the nitrite level is high. So on that time, China they banned Malaysia's bird nest because of the what we call the because of because of the nitrate level, yeah, of the our bird nest. Because in our bird house, yeah, uh, bird and nest, they are mixed together, and there are many birds in a bird house. Yeah, it's not cheap, yeah, to have a bird house. So when everything is mixed together, so they produce nitrite. But as you know, that nitrite also can cause cancer. Yeah, not good for our health. So on that time, China banned Malaysia's bird nest, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, and several countries because of the nitrate level issues. By having the biosensor can help to trace the nitrate level, so we can detect, yeah, we can monitor the level of nitrite before we continue export it to the neighbor. Okay, so there are many approaches that people are working with on biosensors, especially on water quality monitoring and air pollution monitoring. I think maybe we stop now and we continue later at 2 p.m. Sorry, at 1 p.m. Thailand time. Is it okay, Dr. Isara? Because I think that maybe you guys need a break and we continue with biotechnology for tomorrow's world and the rest. Is it okay?
Excuse me, Professor. Since
Okay.
this morning it has been a wonderful meeting. Currently in Thailand it's the time for a lunch break. Therefore, we would like to end the morning session and start the afternoon session at the next hour, which is at 1 p.m. in Thailand time zone. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for your for your cooperation. So we see you again after 1 hour. So enjoy your meal. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Bye.
Good afternoon, Professor.
Afternoon.
Okay. Should we start the afternoon session?
Yes. So
Okay.
shall I start?
Okay. So, hello and welcome to everyone in this afternoon session. For those who have just joined the meeting, you're welcome to join us. Before we continue, if there are any questions, please feel free to leave it in the chat box. Now, without further ado, we would like to welcome our professor to start the afternoon session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Prapat. Okay, so welcome back to my session. So we continue with the session 1 because of still got some notes that I still cannot cover before the break. So it is about biotechnology for tomorrow's world. If you cannot hear my voice, please let me know. Yeah, because sometimes it's quite challenging during the fasting month, but inshallah I will try my best to deliver to you. Okay. Let me check this one. Okay, so biotechnology for tomorrow's world. Okay. So if you can see slide number 65, so it is about biotechnology for tomorrow's world. So as you know that biotechnology is quite relevant, nowadays. So the biotechnology market is shaped by research and development R&D activities. Because why biotechnology exists? Because of there are several issues, there are many problems. The problem is not. Problems arise from the issues of pollution, for example, from the feedstock, not enough feedstock in the market, so the quality of your chicken's egg or anything that it give opportunities for biotechnologists or researchers to come up with their invention or with their ideas, new ideas. Okay, so R&D results of today will impact the market for the next 15 years. Whatever that we do today, so next 15 years it will grow and it give you a value in the market. So new R&D and public research are necessary to address the needs of future markets. Scenario analysis can help identify promising areas of investigation and unmet needs for future markets. So biotechnology companies need to prioritize R&D to stay competitive and meet the needs of the future market. Meaning that biotechnology companies should have good facilities, at least basic lab for them to do some testing, some evaluation, to conduct in terms of safety and efficacy, to do the quality control and everything. Because biotechnology is quite general, but it keep increasing and expand from time to time. After the pandemic, during the pandemic, we know that it grows very well. So perhaps that next 10 or 20 years is still relevant to the market. So biotechnology is another approach for us to make sure that it also help in terms of future sustainability, world sustainability. So we look at the schematic, this figure. Okay, so D for development, R for research. So research and development is ongoing subjects. 2020, 3 years back, and for 2035, the market shift, and the future 2050, so it's still ongoing process, and the increment of the needed of biotechnology also, the need of biotechnology is also increased. Okay, so we can find trends for biotechnology because biotechnology is quite big. So under biotechnology, there are several clusters such as healthcare biotechnology, we have agricultural biotechnology, we have marine biotechnology, and we also have medical biotechnology. What else? We have blue biotechnology, something like that, marine biotechnology. So biotechnology is quite general, but we can classify into small portions, to small or specific areas. Okay, so if you look at the trends of biotechnology, yeah, so rank up is aging population, and we can find biotech in number 7. Biotech is quite growing, and then globalization, yeah, organic farming also contribute to the tomorrow's world. Plant beneficial microbes also in the rank, yeah, and then renewable energy, yeah, and then urbanization, urban farming, greenhouses. So those are contribution of biotechnology for tomorrow's world. Okay, so to make sure that we still carry the value, or we can still have potential, technology in biotech that we can expand, yeah, in the future. So we need to understand about needs for adaptation. Yeah, maybe we have some new invention, but we need some time to adapt. Yeah, and then we have priorities in the value chain and also role of science. For example, we have limited impact. Yeah, we need for adaptation. We are healthy. We are small populations, so we are stable, prosperous economy. We have collaborative or open market. Okay, but we have some uncertainties. We don't know. Sometimes impact of environmental changes. Yeah, development of demography, development of the economy. Sometimes when the attack of new virus, so everything can change. So during that time, we need to ask ourselves whether we are ready for any obstacles here happen in the future. That's why by having we're ready with the technology, it is a basic, so it can help us to prepare, to adapt with any circumstances. Okay. So heavy negative impact, large unhealthy population, poor volatile economic isolationism is other factors of the bad impact, heavy negative impact. Okay, so I continue with this one, the possible biotechnology future direction. So 4 different learning scenarios that help identify possible directions for the future of biotechnology. So there are bioinnovation, my choice, reject tag, and food emergency. What is bioinnovation? So biotechnology is intensively used to sustainably provide high quality food and large volume feedstock for a thriving bioeconomy. We have issues with the not enough stocks in the market, and then the rising price of the feedstock. So many issues that actually make our farmers, got difficulties and facing a lot of troubles and problems. And we also have not have enough stock. Yeah, so that's how bioinnovation is the approach. Yeah, to make sure that we are ready. Yeah, to sustainable provide high quality food and large volume feedstock. And then what is my choice? My choice is a health and sustainability concerns drive all sectors to be diverse and transparent, meeting the needs and preferences of individuals with personalized medicine and nutrition. How about reject tag? Consumers have little trust in politicians, scientists, and big industry, for example. Yeah, so that society is highly polarized and rejects biotechnology-derived products and services despite dissatisfaction about missed opportunities. Sometimes we want to expand, we want to grow, we want to have rocket science, we want to develop what we call the high technology, invention or whatever. But sometimes our technology has been rejected by communities. So here, the important thing is we need to make sure we are well educate people. Okay, not every person can agree with us. So there are also other groups that not agree with us, disagree. So we need to handle how we are going to face these issues. Food emergency. Due to severe environmental degradation, the world is struggling to fulfill basic food demand. In response to the crisis, global adoption of innovation, including biotechnology, occurs to mitigate impacts. So biotechnology discovery research will undoubtedly be at the core of numerous innovations that will reach society by 2050. Yeah. However, depend on how the future will unfold. So today's progress in biotechnology research has a greater or lesser potential to be the basis of subsequent innovation. So, in addition, the lack of a widespread open innovation culture between industry and academia increases the risk of missing out of innovation. That trend-wise is likely to meet industry of consumer demands. So, researchers in universities should engage, bridge the gap between academia and also industry to make sure that whatever the invention that they do is also liaised with communities and also industries. Researchers' role in commercializing solutions for organic waste utilization and sustainability. So let's look what is the roles of researchers. Okay. So from laboratory to market, I cited Yumiko Hamano 2019, from research and development from lab. So how we file for patent, how we apply for patent application, how we do licensing, how we start up, we have a startup, a company, a spin-off company, how we commercialize. So it's about process, okay? So some products not easily go to the market like that, but it should go through the flow, follow the flow, okay? So if let's say, especially ours, we are from universities, of course, whatever that our invention, any products that we produce, of course, need to go validation, need to go through R&D, right? That's our what we call value proposition that make us different from other products in the market. Yeah, other products in the market, maybe they do repackaging, the import from other countries, for example, they do repackaging and they sell. But for us, from universities, from Prof. University and from Universiti Pahang, so we have some grants. It is our what we call passion to do research and development. Okay, so with what we call massive R&D, year by year and everything. So we can actually protect our invention by file patent, and we also can do licensing, what we call collaborate with industries, so they can sell our products, sell our invention by paying us licensing, and also we can also have our company like mine. I have a startup company at Universiti Malaysia Pahang to help to make things become reality, to make our products in the university also reach community. So this is our activities, So in Universiti Pahang, UMP or Universiti Malaysia Pahang, so we are actively engaged with commercialization. So commercialization is one part of our nowadays become our main agenda. Instead of teaching, learning, and research and development, university encourages to do commercialization. Why do you think that commercialization is important? So what do you think if, let's say, we got a lot of grants, from government, from international government, from many sources, but end up the research is only we can prove something, our invention, but we cannot commercialize it, or maybe the invention cannot be delivered to community, so it cannot be any what we call a good contribution, to other people outside. So this is why I think from my perspective, commercialization is very important. So this is how we transfer the technology from lab to the market. Commercialization refers to the process of transforming research discoveries into products or services that can be sold in the market. That is commercialization, okay? So in the context of sustainability, commercialization plays a critical role in addressing environmental challenges such as organic waste generation and management. So biotech researchers have a vital role to play in commercializing solutions for organic waste utilizations and sustainability. So, what is researchers' role? Biotechnology offers innovative solutions for organic waste utilization, and sustainability challenges. So biotech solutions also include biofuels, bioplastics, and bioremediation, among others. So these solutions can help reduce the environmental impact on organic waste and provide sustainable alternatives to traditional methods. Commercialization is essential in bringing biotech solutions to the market. Yeah? So this process involves patenting, licensing, and entrepreneurship to ensure the successful launch of biotech products or services. So biotech researchers play a critical role in commercialization as they are responsible for developing and testing the technology. Yeah, so the responsibility is belongs to the researcher because they need to make sure that the quality of the products meet more than par, more than the standard one. So identifying and characterizing waste streams. So we need to conduct studies to identify and characterize different types of waste streams, including their composition, quantity, sources. So those are need to characterize. The characteristics after the evaluation is very important. So this information is crucial for developing appropriate waste management strategies. Without doing characterization, so meaning that you just simply doing things without what we call details evaluation, and it not give you advantages. Yeah. So developing sustainable waste management solutions, identify and characterize different types of waste streams, including their composition, quantity, and sources. This information is crucial for developing appropriate waste management strategies. Then conducting life cycle assessments. Conduct life cycle assessments to evaluate the environmental impacts of different waste management options. This information can help guide decision making and ensure that waste management solutions are truly sustainable. So how? We are engaging with stakeholders. Yeah, we need to engage with various stakeholders, including policymakers, industry representatives, and community groups to ensure that waste management solutions are acceptable, feasible, and effective. So this engagement can help build support for sustainable waste management practices and identify potential barriers to implementation. Meaning that we are not alone doing things. We are communicate to each other. We need to make sure that the output will benefit others. Yeah. So next is providing education and outreach. Provide education and outreach to raise awareness about waste management issues and promote sustainable practices. This education can be targeted at different audiences, including policymakers, industry representatives, and the general public. Stop being exclusive, but be inclusive. What it is all about. Yeah? So the need for inclusivity in research. Inclusive research practice can help to ensure that diverse perspectives, experiences, and knowledge are integrated into the research process. So this can help to generate more innovative and effective solutions to complex challenges as well as promote equity and social justice. So the limitations of exclusive research practice. So exclusive research practice such as working in silos or excluding diverse perspective can limit the impact and relevance of research finding. For example, we don't communicate with others. We don't communicate with policymakers. We don't communicate with communities. We don't communicate with the seller or anything. So it won't give us advantages. So we are just doing things in silos. So this can lead to solutions that are not well suited to real world context or that perpetuate existing inequalities or injustice. Example of inclusive research practice. Inclusive research practice can take many forms, such as engaging diverse stakeholders in the research process, collaborating across disciplines and sectors, or prioritizing research questions that are relevant to marginalized communities. So benefits of inclusive research. So inclusive research practice can help to generate more innovative and effective solutions to complex challenges, as well as promote equity and social justice. And it also can help to build trust and relationships between researchers and communities, which can lead to more meaningful and impactful research and outcomes. What is the challenges to inclusive research? Yeah, so inclusive research can be challenging, as it requires researchers to step outside of their comfort zones and engage with diverse perspectives and experiences. We cannot just stay in the lab, doing things alone, not talk to other people. So we need to go out, go beyond our comfort zone and engage with many people for us to learn about the current scenario without looking at the other perspective, without going out from our comfort zone. We cannot get any points. So this is, I think, important message to you all, meaning that we need to engage. It can also require additional resources and time to engage with stakeholders or collaborate across disciplines. So strategies for promoting inclusivity in research. Strategies for promoting inclusivity in research can include building diverse research teams. So we have maybe diverse backgrounds in our research team, engaging with diverse stakeholders, prioritizing research questions that are relevant to marginalized communities, and designing research that is inclusive and accessible. Who is entrepreneur? Who is inventor? Who is technology expert? Who is investor? So technology expert provides technical expertise and knowledge to ensure product functionality and safety. It helps to optimize the design, development, and manufacturing process. It ensures the product meets industry standards and regulations. That is technology expert. So how about investor? They have money, they provide financial support and resources to develop and market the product. If you have good invention, if you pitch your idea, in front of people, so maybe the audience, one or two of the audience are investors. They have a lot of money, but they don't know how to do with that money. They want to do something that beneficial, that give them in return, something in return. So they have identify market opportunities and potential partners. They also have manage risk and ensure a sustainable business model. So next, entrepreneur. Entrepreneur develops and implements a comprehensive business plan. They take ownership of the product and ensures its success in the market. They do marketing, they build strategic partnership and network to drive sales and growth. That is the entrepreneur. How about inventor? They develops and brings innovative ideas and products to the table. They have the brain, they have the knowledge, they have the skills. So they play a crucial role in protecting intellectual property and obtaining patents. Why intellectual property is important and obtaining patents is important? Because of what? We need to protect our invention, to commercialize later. So we need to protect it first to ensure the product meets the needs of the market. This is roles of the inventor. Okay, I would like to brief some to you my commercialization work. What I've done in UMP or in GlycoBio International Center Heart. So we are actively commercialize products. This is R&D products. So one of the example is Della Cascara. Is anti-aging face moisturizer derived from glycosaminoglycans. Glycosaminoglycans is a polysaccharide, it's a long linear polysaccharide, that we extracted or we isolate from the eggshell membrane. You know the eggshell, they have membrane inside, very elastic one. So we extract the glycosaminoglycans. So glycosaminoglycan is a bioactive compound that you can find in many cosmetic products. If you go and find hyaluronic acid, something like that, you can, that one is also one of the glycosaminoglycan members. So Della Cascara help to replenish skin and prevent wrinkles. The next one is Dr. Fur. This is my kit product, I guess, because of it helps for the fur to regrow. Okay, so it's also formulated with bioactive compounds, glycosaminoglycans that we extracted or isolated from marine source, and then we formulate to make fur serum. So it can help your dogs, your cats, or any furry animals from having issues with the with the growth. So it helps promote the fur regrow within 2 weeks. to make their fur grow fine and healthier. Yeah, it also is a antifungal agent, because last time we got testimony by putting or by applying our first serum can combat the fungal on the cat's skin. Okay. So next one is Bioproducts. This is our probiotic powder. Yeah, we want Super Raju grant to commercialize this product. So this is a multi-purpose probiotic powder made from local resource, and we also try to modify this probiotic to make sure it can survive in high temperature. So it is something like a temperature tolerance strains. So we use also immobilization technology to make our microbes intact, yeah, before we put with additional water or anything. So the probiotic can be used in food, beverage, and pharmaceutical products. So this is from local isolated probiotic strain. The bacteria withstand at high temperature, and the bacteria grow by using halal medium. And each 1 gram of biotic contains more than 1 billion live probiotics. So we have patented these products. Next is our tablet, Prof.Dr.NINA. Okay, this is advanced probiotic tablet. You need to consume it. So it's good for your gut digestion. Okay,
Excuse me,
next.
Professor.
Yeah. Sorry.
Professor, could you send the files that you present in this meeting to the Zoom chat box, please? Could you send them to this? Because some participants may want to follow your instruction to them.
Okay. All right. Wait, yeah. I ask my Amiran. Let's go to while waiting for that, maybe I can continue and my student can help me with this.
Okay.
Okay.
We are sorry for the inconvenience. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. Oh, they have lunch break, so nobody in my office. Yeah, I try to. So they cannot join our Zoom, eh? So they cannot see our notes. How to this? How to share? Or can I email someone? I email.
You can you email me your file, please? I'll send you email.
You are Mr. Sutipong. Can I email to Mr. Sutipong?
Yes, you can email to him,
Okay.
Mr. Stepon. Yes.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Ni apa dia orang nak slide. Saya hantar email lah. Okay. Faizul share dekat ni ke dekat Zoom?
Professor, can you also send the file in the Zoom?
Yeah, I ask my staff to do that. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Professor.
Okay, no problem. Okay, we continue while waiting for the notes. Yeah.
let's continue. Yes.
Okay, can you see my slides number 89, everyone?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so this is Clever Biofertilizer Plus. Yeah, our next product we launched in 2021. This is a formulated with probiotic. Yeah, so we consider it as a 3-in-1 formulation where we have macro and micronutrients and trace elements and also probiotics and also fertilizer in one pack. So it helps to treat the soil and the nutrient decomposition process in the soil and improve plant health from disease attacks. And making this product is your clever choice. This is our invention and product that commercialized in the market. Faizal, tolong Faizal. Tolong cak saya punya ni. Sorry, technical error. They all please give me 2 to 3 minutes because I want to change platform. Yeah, I will leave this platform and join later.
Okay.
Okay, sorry for the technical error. So, next, COVID. COVID is a multi-strain probiotic bed. So COVID is offer powerful antimicrobial properties against common pathogenic bacteria, but we making the formulation in bits. So very easy to handle, very easy to contain. It is also stable. So the benefits of probiotic in a new and convenient way with our multiple strain LB bits, yeah, in bits. Like a boba, you know boba drink. So make an invention, our probiotic in a boba kind of things, but we make it in a standardized bit. Next is next is Comuria. Comuria is a topical antifungal cream that integrates the antifungal action against fungal Candida albicans by probiotic lactic acid bacteria. So this is something like antifungal cream that we formulated using our lactic acid bacteria or probiotic strains. And we also add some glycosaminoglycans as a bioactive compounds to work together with our lactic acid bacteria to prevent any fungal infections. Okay, so solution. So to characterize and for characterization and preliminary study of sugar mud waste for development into value-added products. So now the question is where we could get the waste. Okay, so this is one of my engagement with industry. We got our waste from Central Sugar Refinery (CSR). They are sugar factory in Malaysia, in Shah Alam, Malaysia. So we went there because we want to see the real scenario. So what is the waste that we have? What is the waste that the industry produce every day, every year? So we need to understand that before we formulate anything, right? So if we just do assumption and we just predict without go and see, so it's really hard for us to get exact information. So we went there, we have engagement with them, so we also have run with them. So we want to help them to reduce their waste. Previously, the CSR company, they throw their sugar waste into the landfill. So you know what happened to the landfill, what happened to the environment, the contamination, the odor, or anything that might affect the environment. So we try to help them to produce something else, that we can do with the what we call waste of sugar. Okay, so massive production amount of sugar mud waste from the sugar mills industry incurs extra cost and space for waste disposal. So the disposal of a huge amount of SM brings adverse effects to the environment. So the progress is now we are appointed by them to do the characterization of sugar mud, and we do some testings in the lab, and we also identify microbes that helpful for the application of products development process. And now we are develop a new range of formulation for biotech based product to be specific biofertilizer and animal feed. So the UMP Technology Showcase Farm is an initiative by Universiti Malaysia Pahang to demonstrate and validate our technology and products. So now, for example, we have biofertilizer, right? So how to confirm, how to make sure that our biofertilizer works well, is working well. So UMP give us, some space for us to do some field testing. Before UMP give us this one, we also ask our partners, our collaborators to do some field testing. We also went to the farm. We also do some validation with the biofertilizer that we have. Okay, so from this integrated farming, so we can have some engagement with community. We can manage our byproduct, by waste. We can also balance the waste that contributing by all faculties and also restaurants or cafes in Universiti Malaysia Pahang. It's something like a cycle. Yeah, the waste we collected the waste, we do some treatment, and we try to produce something else. We help university to generate some money, and at the same time we do some community engagement, and also research and development also ongoing along the way. Okay. All right. So now are you ready with the next topic? Yeah. So next topic is activity 2. I think we don't have enough time to do SWOT analysis, so I skip this one. We go to next session, recent publication in biotechnology. Okay, are you ready for that? If you're ready, we continue. Yeah. Okay. Malaysia National Biotechnology Policy 2.0. So the National Biotech Policy 2.0 or DBN 2.0, which was launched in September 2022, focuses on 3 main thrusts that are in line with Malaysia's aspiration to be a higher technology country by 2030. So the 3 main thrusts are agricultural, biotechnology and food security, healthcare and well-being, and biotechnology in industrialization and circular economy. So why, as a scientists or researchers, we need to understand or have input on our country's direction? Why? Because if we understand about the direction, so we can see whether we are in track or not, on track or not. And if let's say from this perspective, so meaning that Malaysia is going to focus on these 3 main thrusts. Of course, they will create some new grants, some opportunities, some jobs, some what, so many opportunities are going to be created to make sure that they can adapt with these new 3 main thrusts. So we need to understand about this. For example, Thailand also have their biotech policy, for example, or they have their policy. So we need to aware with that. We need to aware with that to make sure that we are in line and we are still engaging with policymakers. Okay, so to make sure that our research development in future also under the field. Why? Publication in biotechnology is important. Why? Publishing allows researchers to share their findings with the scientific community and advance the field. And publishing establishes the credibility of the researchers and their work. People have more trust if you publish. So your publication is very important for other people to go through and come up with their invention also. So publishing enables researchers to communicate and collaborate with other scientists working in the same field. You may go to conference or any, so to communicate through publishing. Publishing can attract funding and resources for further research. And it also can contribute to the body of scientific knowledge, leading to new discoveries and breakthroughs in biotechnology. So it allows other researchers to validate and replicate the research findings, contributing to the advancement of the field. And it can increase the visibility and dissemination of these technologies, leading to broader adoption and implementation. So the technology application through commercialization. I show you step-by-step guide to starting and completing your research paper. Okay. First of all, choose your topic. Choose a topic which interests you. To make sure your topic is not too broad. You need to narrow it down, and you are using terms that are too general. If you are use terms that are too general, you need to narrow it down. Okay, and then conduct preliminary research. Academic research engines are a great source to find background information on your topic. So from there you can find whether how many papers are already existing in the world, in the worldwide. Identify key themes of issues that you want to explore in your paper. Your institution's library will most likely provide access to plenty of online research database. And if at this point you are having difficulty finding adequate information on your topic, it might be better to move on and find another topic. So the third one is develop a thesis statement. So the thesis statement is one of the most important elements of any piece of academic writing. So thesis statement is the central argument or claim that you will be making in your research paper. Okay, so take some time to brainstorm and develop a thesis statement that is clear, concise, and compelling. From your objectives of your thesis, also you can narrow down. You can try to figure out what is your main contribution to your publication. What is your paper that you're going to produce? It can be defined as a very brief statement of what of the main point or central message of your paper is. Number 4, create a research paper outline. So the outline is the skeleton of your research paper. Simply start by writing down your thesis and the main progresses. Therefore, do not worry about being too specific in the early stages of writing your outline. Okay, so an outline is a helpful tool for organizing your ideas and structuring your paper. Number 5, gather and analyze your sources. Organize all information that you have. Gathered according to your routine will help you later in the writing process. So get many resources that you can, many journals that you can. Analyze your notes, check for accuracy, verify the information, and make sure you understand all the information you have gathered in a way you can communicate your findings effectively. So number 6, write your introduction. Start with the introduction. It will set the direction of your paper and help you a lot of as you write. Writing a journal is something like you want to write a novel. A novel with a nice cover, front and back, with nice introduction will make you a strong desire to finish your reading, right? If let's say you start your reading with a very broad introduction of your novel, so you don't have a desire to finish it, right? So same goes to academic publication. Introduction part is very important to attract people to read, to allow people to follow you. Okay, so that's why you need to have a good introduction. So it will set the direction of your paper and help you a lot as you write. We should provide context for your thesis statement and preview the main points of your paper. Waiting to write it at the end can leave you with a poorly written setup to an otherwise well-written paper. If you want to write later the introduction part, so it won't give you a good chronology from beginning. So to have to brainstorm, to have a good chronology of your research articles, you need to brainstorm. You need to have a good sketch, the point by point. So from there you can see that okay, so from one point to another point have their own directions and chronology. Okay, if you make it at the last part of your write-up, so maybe some loopholes, maybe it will give you some not good directions to your audience. Okay, next. Write your first draft. Don't be scared to write your first draft. So the body of your paper argues, explains, or describes your topic. Start with the first topic from your outline. Ideally, you have organized your notes in a way that you can work through your research paper outline and have all the notes ready. Revise. After your first draft, take some time to check the paper for content errors. You read, you repeat, and you read again the whole things. You rearrange ideas. Sometimes maybe it's not in the right place. You try to shift it, so you try to change it and make changes and check it if the order of your paragraphs makes sense. And at this point, it is helpful to reread the research paper instructions and make sure you have followed the format requirements. You can also use free grammar and proofreading checkers such as Grammarly to make sure that you follow the standard. Write your conclusion. When writing your conclusion, it's important to remember that it should be the final piece that ties up all your research together. So conclusion is quite important for you to have a significant summary on what you have done. So it should be written after you have completed the body of your paper. Then you need to ensure that you do not introduce any new information in your conclusion because you already wrap up your write-up. If you want to say something that you didn't mention before, so it's not a conclusion. Okay? So your conclusion should provide a summary of your research and smoothly wrap up your paper, making it clear that your research questions have been effectively answered. Number 10, revise again, edit and proofread. After completing the final draft of your research paper, it's essential to allow some time to pass before making any final correction. You need to keep taking a break from your work for a few days to help you get a fresh perspective and allow you to approach your paper with a more open and perceptive mindset. When you revisit your paper after you have a refreshment, you'll be able to identify any errors or issues that you may have missed during the initial writing process and make the necessary changes to ensure that your paper is of the highest quality. Number 11, finalize your paper. Once you have completed your revisions, it's time to finalize your paper. Make sure that you have followed all formatting guidelines and your citations are correct and your references are correct. And consider having a friend or classmate read over your paper to provide feedback and suggestions for improvement. You also can read aloud. Yeah, read aloud your paper. Sometimes we can identify some mistakes by reading it aloud. Finally, submit your paper with confidence, knowing that you have put in the time and effort to produce a high quality piece of research. Okay. So there are key statistics and data banks that you can find here. You can also refer to your library, librarian. So you can see here data bank, Statista, European Data Portal, WHO, and many more. Yeah, from the URL link here, you can go to the data banks. And this is do's and don'ts that you might be considered. So do's. Consult your co-authors or a colleague who is familiar with your work. Okay, make sure that you address each of comments entirely. Be polite in your response when you disagree with any comment or suggestion. Sometimes they give comment, you have to change or something, but be polite and response. When you disagree, say nicely. Wherever required, cite references or include supplementary or unpublished data in support of your argument. Please submit promptly and ensure that changes made to the manuscript based on the reviewer's suggestions are clearly indicated. Okay? Alright, so don'ts. Don't argue every single comment. If the reviewer has suggested a minor revision that you might not entirely agree with, but is easy to comply with and does not take away any value from your study. Do not take a negative comment from the reviewer as a personal attack. Try to look at it as a positive way, with a neutral perspective, and address it to the best of your ability. Sometimes when we receive some rejection, we feel so demotivated. Don't be demotivated because it's a process. It's a lifelong learning process. Okay. Okay. Are you okay to my speed is quite okay. I try to slow it down. So do not take a negative comment from the reviewer as a personal attack. Yeah. Avoid using phrases like "we completely disagree" in your rebuttal letter. Oh, okay, please avoid that. Okay, because this is quite professional exercise that we try to appreciate on other professionals' comment. Yeah. We honor on their comments. We try to improve because this is a learning process. So try to answer it or to respond is other way. Okay. Do not deny the request of the reviewers for original or raw data. Okay. Next is step-by-step guide for systematic literature review. Okay. Systematic literature review, what it is all about. It determines research question. It defines eligibility criteria and methods for review. Search for studies. We can apply eligibility criteria. We can collect data and critically appraise, analyze and present results, interpret results and form conclusions, and complete the structured report. If you want to know more, you can scan the QR code here to go to the description of all of this. Okay. Next, what is a systematic review? So a systematic review attempts to collate all empirical evidence that fits pre-specified eligibility criteria in order to answer a specific research question. This is more specific, no broad or area, or no too general. It uses explicit systematic methods that are selected with a view to minimizing bias, thus providing more reliable findings from which conclusions can be drawn and decisions made. So, similarities in and differences between systematic and literature reviews. You are familiar with the literature review, right? So now, what is systematic review? We are going to compare, between systematic review and literature review. So, for question, for systematic review, it is focused on a single question. For literature review, not necessarily focused on a single question, but may describe an overview. It's more general. For protocol, in systematic review, it is a peer review protocol or plan is included. In literature review, no protocol is included. Okay. For your background, both provide summaries of the available literature on a topic for both systematic review and also LR, literature review. For objectives, for SR or systematic review, it contains clear objectives. Clear objectives are identified. In literature review, objectives may or may not be identified in that chapter. For inclusion and exclusion criteria, criteria stated before the review is conducted. This one is for systematic review. But for literature review, no criteria has been specified. For search strategy, for systematic review, comprehensive search conducted in a systematic way, whilst in literature review, strategy not explicitly stated. So process of selecting articles, for systematic review, usually clear and explicit. But for literature review, not described in a literature review for the process of selecting articles, because we just cite whatever that we read, right? But for systematic review, we clearly explain about it. Process of evaluating articles have been comprehensively evaluated using systematic review, whilst in literature review, evaluation of study quality may or not be included. So for systematic review, process of extracting relevant information is usually clear and specific. But for literature review, the process of extracting relevant information is not explicit and clear. So for results and data synthesis, clear summaries of studies based on high quality evidence. And for literature review, summary based on studies where the quality of articles may not be specified, may also be influenced by the reviewer's theories, needs, and beliefs. So for the discussions, both written by an expert or group of experts, give a detailed and well-grounded knowledge of the issues. So you can refer to Lin K 2013, the difference between a systematic review and a literature review. So how to start? Okay, systematic literature review. Start here from the point number 1. We identify problem statement before we go further to find out the research question that might appear in the journey, and the objective, keywords, and also database. Those components can be found in the systematic literature review. So what is research question? PICO is a helpful tool in evidence-based practice for breaking down a research question into its essential components. So this enables researchers to formulate a focused and answerable question, which is crucial for developing effective literature search strategies. P for problem, patient, population. I, intervention, prognostic factor, exposure. C, comparative, intervention, comparison. O is outcome. So in population, what are the effects of intervention versus comparison on outcome in bracket? Okay, so this is a guideline for you to come up with a research question for this for your systematic literature review. Okay. So P problem patient population in the field of microbiology. Intervention for I, prognostic factor or exposure. What are the characteristics of isolated lactic acid bacteria from fermented food products? Okay, so it's covered under I, intervention, exposure. Okay, just now problem, patient, population. P is covered in the field of microbiology. So in the field of microbiology, what are the characteristics of isolated lactic acid bacteria or LAB from fermented food products? Comparing LAB isolated from different regions and types of fermented foods give you an idea of how you could do comparison. Comparative intervention that covers under C, whilst O is outcome. How do their probiotic traits compare to each other? The outcome. Okay, so this is the guideline. The PICO or PICO is the research question that guide you for the research question in your systematic literature review. Okay. PICO in healthy adults. Does daily probiotic supplementation compared to a placebo improve gastrointestinal systems? Go back to this one. Okay, P in healthy adults. So it covers the problem of patient or population. Okay, so in healthy adults. I, does daily probiotic supplementation. I is intervention, prognostic factor, exposure. So does daily probiotic supplementation. C is comparison, yeah, comparative intervention. So compared to a placebo, yeah. O is outcome, yeah, improve gastrointestinal symptoms question. So in healthy adults, does daily probiotic supplementation compared to a placebo improve gastrointestinal systems? So those 4 points here guide the research question for systematic literature review. Okay. So PICO is patients at high risk for gallbladder dysfunction. P is a HIDA scan. I, compared with an ultrasound. Compared is a comparison, right? C, more accurate in diagnosis. Outcome, O. Okay. Or PIO, we can skip C, we can put PIO. For obese children, which is P, problem patient, do educational programs on lifestyle changes. I, reduce the risk of diabetes mellitus. O, yeah. So this is how we targeted for the research question. Okay. For evidence-based practice searches, you will often be expected to break down your question into its key concepts using ABP formula, such as PICO, PIO, or PEO. So PICO, population, problem, patient, intervention, issue, comparison, outcome. For PIO, population, problem, patient, intervention or issue, outcome. PEO is population, problem, patient, exposure, outcome. Okay. So more systematic reviews for health. Formulate the research question. You can scan the QR code here for details later. So techniques PICO to search for quantitative review question. So P for patient population, I for intervention or exposure, C for comparison, for control, O for outcome. So most important characteristic of patient, disease condition, main intervention, drug treatment, diagnostic, screening, test, main alternative, whether placebo, standard therapy, no treatment, gold standard, what you are trying to accomplish, measure, improve, affect, which is become your outcome. Okay. So more for frameworks for research questions. So there are many that you can find frameworks for research questions instead of PICO, PO, or PEO. They are behemoth, CHIP, CIMO, CLIP, COPS. Yeah, I don't know whether my pronunciation is correct or not for those terms. So it stands for behemoth. It stands for B, behavior of interest. H, health context. service, policy, intervention. E is exclusions, most is models of theories. So there are many. You also can scan the QR code here to get more details, yeah, on these notes. Alright, so keywords here, yeah. PICO, in patients at high risk for gallbladder dysfunctions, yeah. P is a HIRA scan. I, compared with ultrasound. C, more accurate in diagnosis. Okay, this one I think I already done, right? This one. So next is PRISMA. PRISMA stands for Preferred Reporting Items for Systematic Reviews and Meta-Analysis. It is an evidence-based minimum set of items in reporting systematic reviews and meta-analysis. Database. It is crucial to use more than one database during a systematic search to avoid retrieval bias. At least 2 databases are recommended, but more can be used for better coverage. Each database has its strengths and weaknesses, and using multiple databases allows them to complement each other. So must use Scopus and Web of Science or use Google Scholar. Okay, can use Google Scholar. Okay, so while Scopus and Web of Science are commonly used database, there is no requirement to use them specifically. So you can use other database also. But Google Scholar can be a useful tool for expanding the search. But it should be used with caution as it includes non-peer-reviewed sources. Okay, because there are many things that appear in the Google Scholar. So if you go for the Scopus and Web of Science, this is more specific. Can I use Mendeley? Mendeley is a reference management software and can be used as a database for conducting a systematic research. Okay, so you can scan here for QR code to get more information on this database information. Alright, so what is the criteria for inclusion and exclusion? Okay, so screening is the second step in a systematic search strategy where specific criteria are determined to select relevant articles for review. According to 2015 and Johnson and Hennessy 2019 highlight that there is no one-size-fits-all criterion for all fields. Yeah, so the criteria used is one field may not be suitable for another field. That's why not at one solution can solve other issues. Yeah, something like that. However, any criteria used must be justified based on a research question. And some recommended criteria for screening include year of publication, type of publication, language, country, study design, sampling method, and respondent or informant should be used. Okay. So the criteria for inclusion and exclusion. Systematic reviews usually search for original studies. So commonly excluded publication and reviews and editorials. So letters may also be excluded. However, this should be done with caution as sometimes the letter format will be used to report small-scale studies. So, for example, we do some screening. We have Scopus database, so we list for include and exclude. We want to have access for open, but we want to exclude paid. We don't want to find paid materials. We want to find free materials, and it is an open access. For year, we make it specific. I only want reference 2018 until 2023. So we can set that criteria. So document type, we can put it as an article. We can exclude research review, chapters in book, conference, proceeding, we can avoid. So keyword, we can put microbiology, lactic acid, bacteria, fermented food, fermentation, lactobacillus, probiotic as an example, or we can exclude identification. So publication stage, we can put completed or impressed or any. Or language, we can put English. Okay. So the criteria for inclusion and exclusion. And then cover this one. Okay, so Prisma step 1, identification through database. First, you need to go to www.scopus.com to find your information. Okay. Then you go to this one, you need to click on the documents. After you click the documents, you need to click on the article title, abstract, keywords from search. Okay, you got me? Okay, so you can search within this one. Okay, you can search the documents, and then you need to type your keyword. Yeah, what is your keyword? For example, probiotics or lactic acid bacteria or any of your keyword here. Okay. Click on add search field to add next keyword. If you have more than one keyword, so you need to add some more. You add search. You click on add search field, so you can add your next keyword. Click on end field for the next keyword. So if you have other keywords, so click end and you can put some more keywords. Okay, and then identification through database. You can select or field for the next keyword. You can select on or. Okay, for example, here you can search within article title abstract keywords. You can select all, and then you can put your keyword. Okay, you can select on and not field for the next keyword to narrow your search. Okay, you can put the keyword and you can put and not, so it won't appear in your search article title, abstract and keywords. Number 10, you will get the result of document suit your keywords. For example, if I put one keyword or two keywords, I got this total of the document is about 873 documents found. Okay, but after I filter the year based on your inclusion time, I only want 2017 till 2023. So I narrow down the search, and I also select the document type based on your inclusion timeline. I only want article, for example, so it can narrow down my search. And then I also can select the language based on your inclusion timeline. So I only, for example, I select English, yeah? Or you want to select Korean, or you want to select Thailand. Right? So you can put here, okay, and then select the related keywords to narrow your search. Then you need to select the related keywords to narrow down your search. Maybe when you put one keyword, so you get thousands of papers, yeah, documentation. But after you narrow down, you add some more keywords, so your search engines or your search what we call is become less. Yeah. Click either to exclude or limit to. Okay, you want to limit to only this technology, this topic, so you can give direction, to this website. Click either to exclude or limit to, or select the source type. Or you want only book, or you want journal, or you want only conference proceeding, or you want all. So you can do selection. Okay, so it will narrow down your search also. Number 18 is select the publication stage. So you can select whether you want to have a final or you want to have publication in the article in press stage. So you can do that. Okay. So you also can select the exclude or limit to in the identification through database. So point number 20, from the 873 documents identified, only 198 documents left after filtered. So you already narrowed down the search, the results. Okay. Next, eligibility. The third process is in the systematic search strategy. It is like a second screening process where this process we will read the article title and abstract to determine whether or not the selected article or material is related to the SLR that we want to form. Okay, so we need to screen it again. So the first one is identification. So we record identified through database. For example, we have 295 documents. After we put the keywords, and then we screen, we record after duplicates removed. So the balance is 67. So full text articles assessed for eligibility, and then full text articles exclude with reasons about 57. So whatever they included in our search is only 11 documents. Okay, this is how we narrow down the flow chart, the search for SLR document. Okay. So more for the systematic literature review. This is the ABC of systematic literature review, the basic methodological guidance for beginners. If you want to know more details about SLR or systematic literature review, please scan this QR code. Later, you at home you can find out. Yeah, but it is all about in details. Okay. So I will show you our current publication. So this is current issues in molecular biology. You can look at the title, a concise review of extraction and characterization of chondroitin sulfate from fish and fish waste for pharmacological application. This is one of the title. So you can scan the QR code here to get more information. So this is from Malaysian Journal of Biochemistry and Micromolecular Biology. Our publications entitled Preliminary Assessment of Antifungal Activity of Lactic Acid Bacteria from Selected Malaysian Traditional Fermented Food. You also can get information if you want to read or if you want to cite. Okay, so you can scan the QR code. You can get the full document. Okay. All right. So give me 2 minutes. Faizul. Okay, so I think we open for Q&A. If let's say we have some time, we proceed with the summer activity with you. Okay, any question from the floor, you can ask, you can type, you can post it in the chat box. I can open the chat box. Tak boleh buka lah chat box tu. Mouse ni tak jalan. Anyone can help me? I cannot open the chat box. Nasri? Dah boleh. I baru boleh. Tadi mic tak ada. Okay, thanks. Oh yeah, we have one question from Mahendran to everyone. Greetings, doctor. In case I would like to commercialize my research in the future, what are the criteria that I need to make sure of? Okay. So Mahendran asks if let's say he would like to do commercialization in my research in the future, what are the criteria that he need to make sure? First of all, you need to make sure that you do some evaluation. Yeah? So before you go further with commercialization, before you start your research and development, you need to have SWOT analysis. From SWOT analysis, it will help you to guide you, okay, to produce your products and to set up the value proposition for your products and to find out your partnership, to how to do marketing, how to do what is the what we call how you're going to market it. Okay, so that one is an important component. And after that, you need to make sure that what is your TRL level, yeah, technology readiness level. Technology readiness level is one tool that you can find. You can just search TRL, yeah. From TRL, there are several TRL from 1 until TRL 10 or 8, something like that. So from there, you can evaluate whether you can ask yourself whether you are ready for commercialization or not. Whether your inventions are only on the paper, whether you already start your research, or you have some result of safety and efficacy, or you already have a prototype, or you have done the what we call market validation, or you have done, so you can ask yourself, you can validate, you can find, so which level that you are at this point. Okay, so from that TRL, so will give you some input or guide to you whether you are ready to commercialize or not your products. Okay, thank you, Mahendran. So we open to other questions. Assalamualaikum, Doctor. Have you been appointed as journal reviewer, and what is the most common mistake and any tips for published from human journal? Okay, yeah. Salam. I've some experience appointed as a journal reviewer. As I mentioned before, sometimes people are not aware or they don't make a specific title for their paper. So the title is more wide, broad. So it's really hard for the reviewer to understand and to go through what is the direction of the paper. Yeah, introduction part is very important. Like I say just now, it should be precise and attract your readers. If let's say your introduction part is weak, so it's also give overview of the rest of the whole papers that you are prepared. Yeah? So please make sure that you check and balance, and you sketch, and you have what we call sketch a good, you have a good chronology, yeah, from point to point, to make sure that there is no loopholes, yeah, from one point to another point. Okay, so precise and make sure that you understand on what you are writing. Sometimes by rephrase other people's reference, or put something, you not change the sentences, yeah, the idea to something else. So you also you yourself not understand how you are going to make sure that your readers understand you well. So that's why you use your own words to simplify it and make sure that you understand. That's the best solution. Okay. Anyone? Any question from Prince Songkla University? Or you can turn on your mic if you don't want to write. Or you have what we call questions from the session 1 also, you can ask me. Okay, because this session is about this afternoon is session 2. During session 1, we don't manage to have Q&A due to the time constraint. So now I think we have some time. If you want to go back to the previous slides in the session 1, please let me know. Okay. Any questions from the floor? Oh yeah, I don't know whether you have tried to scan the QR code. Please try. If you have any difficulties, you may email me, or you can contact Dr. Isara or anything, or anybody to keep in touch, yeah, with me. Okay, to get more information. I think maybe you need to try to scan whether it's working or not. For information, I've been to Prince Songkla University quite several times. Yeah, I really like the environment of Prince Songkla University. Very conducive university to work, to study. Very big campus. Yeah, I really like the environment. So I hope that I can revisit Prince Songkla University. Hope Dr. Sarah can invite me. I can go and visit him and also visit his team, his research team, perhaps. Okay, we have another question. Doctor, if my research product is based on cosmetics, what is the clinical trial period that will be sufficient before commercialization? It depends on what types of products that you want to have. Yeah, if let's say cosmetics, yeah, so it depends on your claim. What is your product's claim? Okay, sometimes if you just want to have something like moisturizer, something like that, so maybe something like preclinical study also is enough. Okay, preclinical study is also enough to try to use animal study, yeah, before you do the commercialization. Okay, and you also can do the cell line testing to make sure that your claim regarding the whatever that cell line skin cell line that you want to prove, yeah, prove the concept of your bioactive compound that working well with the formulation, you can test the cell line. Okay. In some countries, they ban using animal as the study. Okay, but some of countries they still permit us to conduct experiment on mice, yeah, on guinea pig or any. Yeah, I think in UK they ban using animal. Only cell line is permitted. Yeah? We can use cell line, different types of cell line, epithelial cell growth or anything to confirm or to prove that our bioactive compound or our formulation has a good efficacy here on the targeted audience, or we want to find out what is the best dosage for us to put in the formulation. For example, I have one bioactive compound. I have one herbs, yeah, one herb extract. I want to do some formulation to make it as a foundation, for example, or want to make it as a moisturizer for skin. And then by working with the cell line, from there we can get an idea what is the dosage. Yeah, whether 1%, 2%, 5%, 7% of the herb extract can give us good what we call the results on the skin. So we can do that kind of testing. So it depends on your research, how long you want to target to complete it. But it also depends on your claim also. Okay, if let's say you go for the clinical trials, something like that, you go to for the products that need what we call medical claims, something like that, maybe it will take you many years. Okay, all right. Any question from the floor? Okay, what is the challenge to bring my product or technology to the society? Okay, there are many types of people outside, right? So people are always easily to follow their icon, whatever that they look at, they watch from TV or whatever marketing materials that they found or they see or they look. So the challenge is it depends on your product. So how you do marketing. Because if let's say the product, you need to understand about the value proposition. What is your strength? What is the strength of your products? Okay, what makes your products is different from other products? If let's say I have one biofertilizer, so what is the difference between my biofertilizer and other biofertilizers in the market? Okay, so we cannot what we call underlook, or we cannot just say that other products in the market is not good. We cannot say that because this is an ethics. We should highlight our advantages. We should highlight our product value. Okay, to highlight the advantage of the products. So the challenge is it depends on the perception and it depends on the society itself. if let's say the society is well educated, well understand, and they know about your technology very well, and they know about it and they trust, so easy for them to accept. But I give you an example. Sometimes, let's say probiotics. Now everyone knows about probiotics. I also got high challenge. It's quite challenging when we also want to propose the probiotic based products, because if we go to the central area, or we go to the we go to Kuala Lumpur, we go to that top spot places, so maybe people are aware with the probiotics. When I go to the rural areas, go to the village, sometimes people don't know about probiotics. So now this is our task or our responsibility to make sure that we educate people. Okay, sometimes we need to understand how to educate people using our layman words. Sometimes when we talk to people, maybe too specific. Of course, because I as a lecturer, scientist, and we are always familiar with the scientific words. Okay, scientific words. So it's really hard for us to make it simplify, to make it more to the layman words. Layman words meaning that anybody without any background specific in biotechnology, they understand about your pitching, they understand about your explanation. That will be a layman words. Okay. So now, whatever methods that you try to approach, you need to make sure that people understand you. You need to make sure that you have a good direction on your market products, how you're going to do marketing, and you need to make sure in terms of safety whether your products already have that value. In terms of safety and efficacy is also important. Okay, so there's the challenge. Challenge is everywhere. Challenge is everywhere, but it's possible for you to bring your products to the market. Okay. Any question from Thailand? I don't know whether we have still have a Thailand audience in here in our Zoom. Or can you hear my voice? Or you want to go to slides? Please let me know. We can go to slides. I also want to add with you about this topic, biosensor. Okay, so I want to highlight to you the biosensor technology that currently is growing very well, especially during the pandemic and after the pandemic. So why biosensor play a crucial role in helping our society? Because of nowadays, as you know, when we got attacked with COVID-19 virus, so we need something that is rapid, accurate, fast, easy to handle, for us to test whether we got affected with the virus, infected with the virus or not. So biosensors is a miniature device that we can bring everywhere, and you no need to be a biotechnologist to use it. So anyone can use it, right? So look at your COVID-19 test strips. So your grandma, your parents also can use that biosensor. So biosensor nowadays become a good repo. So everybody is talking about biosensor, but it's very interesting because of not only biosensor that we can apply in biomedical field, but we can also apply in environment. So, for example, we want to check the quality of your water in the aquaculture field, aquaculture farm, or you want to detect any contaminants, for example, formaldehyde. we want to export, if you want to import fish or seafood from your neighbor, from other countries, so biosensor is very important for you to check whether the way or they preserve their fish, they preserve the shrimps, or they preserve anything that they want to bring to Malaysia, to your country, is in a good condition. Because of, if you aware, formaldehyde is is a solution that we use as a preservative. But if let's say more than the permitted level, it can cause cancer. Okay, so can you imagine without biosensor, so people need to stop. How about your immigration or custom when you want to control those issues? Because if you don't have biosensor, we need to take sample, collect sample, we need to bring to the lab, we need to use bulky equipments, big equipments. We need to run HPLC, for example, and we need to wait for several days to get the results. And so then we want to implement the action. So it's really hard. But by using biosensor, within 2 minutes or within 30 seconds, you can get the results. So it will help you to speed up the process. Yeah, so it make things become easier, and we can get very rapid results. Yeah, in very short intervals. Okay, so biosensor in food industry also play a crucial role. So you can find in manufacturing plant, in food manufacturing plant also, you can try to develop a hydrogen peroxide based biosensor. So there are many applications of biosensors in industry. It depends on what scenarios or what problems that you want to cater. Okay, what problems that you want to solve with the rapid method of the analysis. So for the biosensors, it is involve more than one discipline. We don't only need biotechnologists to run a biosensor, but we need an electrician. So we need an electrical engineer, we need chemists, we need software engineer to work together with biotechnologists to perform or to produce a biosensor device. Okay. So any question? If no questions, I think we may stop. I'm not sure. What's your idea? So if you don't have any questions, so I think we stop right now. We continue in the future, inshallah, in the next session, maybe at the next virtual visiting professor, or maybe I can go to your campus to meet Dr. Sarah and his research team by delivering research experience or any, Okay, because of my hometown is just next to Thailand. Yeah, my hometown is in Changlun, Bukit Kayu Hitam. I believe that is about 30 minutes or 45 minutes to Prince of Wales University. So when I go back to my hometown, I always go to Hat Nhai. Okay. I really love the what we call Thailand's food. Yeah. So from my hometown is really close the border to go to Thailand. Okay. All right, so can we stop right now? If there is no more question from you, I think we stop.
Professor,
Yeah.
today on behalf of the Prince of Thai University, we truly appreciate the wonderful lesson and advice. Once again, we would like to sincerely thank Professor Nina for the special program and thank all the participants. We hope that everyone will continue to participate in our future projects. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Tong Song Sem. I don't know whether my pronunciation is correct or not. Thank you to Prince of Wales University for inviting me and my students to this event here, the virtual visiting professor Prince of Wales University. I hope that we can have, we still can engage and we have collaboration together. So see you again in next event. Okay, so I think that's all for now. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening, and thank you very much. Please forgive me if I have any mistake I've done during the talk or during the lecture. Okay. So thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Have a nice day, Professor.
Yeah. Have a nice day too.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.